Okay. Show.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Now clear your minds. Note what scares you.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Kill you all. Drive you crazy. And I'll kill you all.
What's blood for? It's not for shame.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Well, I've always missed Ernest's mother.
Why do you need me?
Not people. Brains.
The boogeyman is real. And you found it.
Sometimes that's better.
Welcome back to the Skewered Universe Podcast. My name is Jeff, and while I don't have Leanne with me, I thought, hey, the world's on fire. Everyone is sweating their asses off right now, so why not talk about some summertime horror movies? And of course, I had to reach out to my friends, and lo and behold, one of them picked a certain movie that I hadn't seen. And he is here with me right now, renowned author and fellow podcaster Chuck Nasty. How are you, sir?
How's it going, man?
It's going all right, dude.
Back.
I'm glad to have you back a lot sooner than January.
Oh, definitely, dude. Definitely. Anytime that you post something about wanting to do this or the other, I always try to see if I'm able to do anything. I like coming on here and talking to you.
Yeah, I enjoy having you on because it's always a fun conversation.
Oh yeah, and it goes everywhere.
Oh yeah. It's a natural conversation. It feels like we're just sitting out on the patio or whatever, having a fun conversation. We just happen to have microphones and we're not in the same state. That's right. That's really the only difference.
You're actually all the way on the other side from me.
Yeah. And yet, here we are communicating because the wonders of technology, even though it can fuck us over at times.
Truth.
So yeah, I reached out to several people, and you got back to me right away.
Yeah.
And you picked a certain movie. And I hadn't seen this before, but I had heard a lot about it. Yeah, 1989's Dead Calm.
Alone on a sea of endless calm, it was easy to imagine they were the only two people on Earth. But into their perfect world, there came a stranger.
Stand up!
Trying to take her across the Pacific on your own?
No, there were 6 of us. Yeah, this died 10 days ago.
I'm going on board her.
Can't do that.
He's fast asleep. He won't even know. God, you're pretty.
What about those people, huh? There wasn't any food poisoning, was there?
Go away! What's goes on?
You think I'm making this up?
No, I don't.
You sound so much like them, Ray! It's scary!
Dead Calm, a voyage into fear. From the makers of The Road Warrior and Mad Max.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting that I hadn't seen this movie because I had heard about it for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? It's time to pull the trigger on this one. And I'm glad that you responded so quick and grabbed it because...
Yeah, man.
I couldn't think of anyone I want to talk about this more than you.
Well, I appreciate that. And the thing is, though, with this movie is, I've been wanting a reason to give it a rewatch. We lost Sam Neill earlier this year and just last month. Was it last month or whatever it was?
I believe it wasn't long ago. Yeah.
It wasn't long ago. And I was like, man, I haven't watched that in forever, and it just keeps kind of coming up. And then you had what were the other movies you said? You said Dead Calm, and then the other choices were what? Do you remember?
It was Dead Calm, Lake Placid, And for some reason, I forgot the other one because somebody suggested something else, and I pivoted because I'm always down to do something somebody else suggests.
Right.
So now I'm having to go look and see what I recommended.
Well, I remember all the choices were good. Like I like Lake Placid. I love that movie. I'm a fan of creature features and reptiles and amphibians.
Cape Fear, 1991.
That's right. Okay, Cape Fear. Yeah.
So I also
Classic.
haven't seen that one or the original, so I'm looking for an excuse to get to them both.
What?
So, yeah.
Hey now, wait a second.
I know.
You've never seen either Cape Fear?
That is correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm trying to plug the holes, keep the ship from sinking, if you will.
Right. Nice play on words. Yeah. No, you should definitely. Yeah, those are like I said. You had a good thing. Shit, you had a good amount of movies, and you had the right movies to choose from. That's not even that. Let me try that again. You picked some good movies to choose from. There you go. And Dead Calm. I was like, well, fuck. This is obviously that moment for me to give it a rewatch and discuss it a little bit. Because man, the last time I watched that movie, I was probably, I don't know, 14, 15.
Oh shit. It's been a while then.
Oh yeah, dude. It was, I bought it on DVD, at Harper's Pawn Shop. Cause me and my friends used to just walk around and just go to different pawn shops and just raid any CD that had parental advisories and anything that looked gory, or looked scary or whatever. And yeah, it was one of those that was always there. And I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. And I always liked it. And then I used to have it on DVD, but somewhere along the way, it disappeared. So I'm glad Tubi's around to, because Tubi's been there for me a few times when I thought I had physical media of certain things that I didn't anymore.
Tubi is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's just ad supported, it's free.
Yeah.
And there's so much there.
Oh, dude. Yeah. There's so much to choose from. And they have, if you're looking for the old school, if you're wanting some 70s or 80s, slashers, or even some of the 90s shit, they've got it, and I appreciate the fuck out of them. They've got some of the better ones too. And there's a few other streaming sites and whatever that have a few of these movies, but it's only after Tubi's had them.
Yeah. I will say I've seen hard to find stuff show up on Tubi, like stuff that hasn't had a physical release or it hasn't had a redo to Blu-ray or anything. And stuff that's just like low budget, independent, but well done. They run the gamut. There's the mainstream stuff. There's the indie stuff. There's obscure stuff. There's hard to find stuff at times. There's a whole catalog just for all of Full Moon stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like, what?
Oh yeah.
So if you're a diehard Full Moon fan, just go to Tubi if you don't own any of the Blu-ray or DVDs.
100. Definitely. They got something for everybody. And the thing that's so funny though is there's some places that don't get Tubi, like across the pond.
Yeah.
They don't get it over there and shit. I'm like, fuck. Cause like I have a few, author friends and shit that live over in like Canada and places like that. They're like, yeah, we don't get Tubi here. I'm like, well, what the fuck? That's some bullshit. I guess I never thought about that. Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a Discord group I'm a part of, and I've seen a few from like Australia, New Zealand, and over in the UK. They're like, yeah, we don't get that. Or they talk about how their version of Netflix or whatever has stuff that is on a completely different service here. I'm like, how does that work?
Yeah.
International rights are weird, man.
They really are, especially when it comes down to entertainment stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but yeah, no, it was also Dead Calm was actually the first. I want to say it was the first movie I saw. I want to say I saw it before Demon Knight.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I want to say that. And if I'm wrong, then I saw Demon Knight, and that's why I got it because of that. But I also got it because I knew who everybody in that movie was. Sam Neill, Billy Zane, and very young Nicole Kidman as well. And I knew who all they were. And I was like, oh, shit, all right. And it just, I like the feel of this movie completely. It's very dark or whatever, which we'll get into. I know. I want to do something real quick that I forget to do on a lot of these episodes, and I'm sure it pisses people off. A quick synopsis. Right. We get to talk and we forget sometimes. Yeah, I've talked about so many movies with people, and I forget to do just a brief synopsis, and they're probably like, "Could you tell me what the movie's about?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just forget." Right, so, Dead Calm from 1989. We have. I have to scroll down so I can see their names. John and Ray, who after a horrific tragedy, and we will get there, decide to take their boat onto the ocean just to get away from everything for a while and sort of work on dealing with the grieving process. Yeah. And while out there, they happen upon a stranger who was rowing away from a sinking ship, and craziness ensues. Yeah. And of course, like you said, this stars a very young Nicole Kidman, Sam Neill, and Billy Zane. And all three of them letting you know exactly why they are three great actors. Oh, man, definitely. Oh, yeah, all three of them are class acts. They're great. I love Sam Neill and everything, but I've always loved Billy Zane. Same. He just always has this charisma about him in all his roles. Of course, I don't know if you're like me or not, but, Demon Knight, he won me over immediately, and I think a lot of people feel the same fucking way. And like, oh man, Billy Zane's in this movie. He was Titanic when it came out. It's the reason why I went and saw it. It was like, oh, that Billy Zane guy's in that movie. All right. And the other reason was because we were supposed to meet some females there and they didn't show up. So it was just me and two of my bonehead friends watching Titanic and making the theater full of people miserable by our dumb, stupid, moronic comments that kids are so good about doing and making, Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's Billy Zane has so much charisma. And even when you're like, I really don't like the person you're playing, but it's like, I could see why people would be like, you're really charming, so maybe I'll let this slide a little. Yeah. Hell, going back to Titanic, everybody saw him as, he was the villain, right? He was seen as the villain. And I watched it was like a little, I think it was Billy Zane talking to somebody who was talking about that character. And he's like, yeah, and I guess the internet's ruled that he was not that much of a bad guy after all. And it's like, oh yeah, wait a minute. He really, he was kind of a jerk. His character was a jerk. His character was a bit of a jerk, but he also was watching his fiance getting cozy with some other dude, Yeah. It's just kind of funny when you look at things like later down the road, but overall he was the bad guy in the movie. Yeah. And thinking about it, there's not been too many movies I can think about where he hasn't played a bad guy in some way, shape, or form. Tombstone is the only one that comes to mind. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because funny enough, right, when I was watching this yesterday, Leanne came in and she was like, I think I've seen this before. And we were talking about Billy Zane. She's like, I want to see a movie where he's not a bully. She's like, because in Demon Knight, he's a bully. In this one, he's a bully. She goes, in Titanic, he's a bully. And I went, Tombstone, he's not. He's playing an actor with a traveling theater group. Yeah. He's the complete opposite of how he usually is. Yeah. And I was like, she's like, really? She goes, is it funny? I go, no. It's I had to give her a quick description of what his character was and where it was set. Yeah. So I'm like, very much this theater actor in this traveling theater group in Tombstone, Arizona, surrounded by a bunch of cowboys and shit. That are trigger happy. Yeah. He doesn't come out too good either in that one either. No. Yeah. And then also he was Phantom, which I haven't seen that either. I've heard people say it's pretty good, and I'm like, at the time it came out, I was like, I don't know what this is. Realizing now it's from old like pulp comics and serials and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, they used to have the comic strips in the newspaper. And that was like one of my favorite things as a kid. was getting the comic strips and reading the Phantom comics. And it was when because Billy Zane, like I haven't seen that movie in fucking forever, but like he looks like him. Yeah. I always thought that was really cool. I was like, dude, he really does look like him. But something else, speaking of Billy Zane looking like people, this being, an older film and all three actors were a bit younger at this point, especially Nicole Kidman and Billy Zane. I don't know how old Sam Neill was in it, but he didn't look like he ever aged.
No, he looked the same as he was in Jurassic Park, which is several years later. I'm like,
yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about Billy Zane, though, is I never realized how much he actually looks like Marlon Brando. And recently, in the last couple of years, he was in a movie that was based on real shit where he's playing an older Marlon Brando. And I'm like, wow, he really does look like it. Now, watching this last night, there's a couple of shots of Billy Zane, and I'm like, wow, you look like some infamous shots of Marlon Brando when he was a younger actor. And I'm like, wow, he really does. And if you actually think about it, like, go look at some black and white photos of Marlon Brando from back in the day, and then look at some of the shots in Dead Calm, and it's like, wow, he really does. Like, I don't think there's any relation at all. But they really same type of bone structure and everything. It's fucking nuts.
Sorry, I'm stunned into silence because now that you said that, I'm like, holy shit, you're right. He really does.
Yeah,
he really does.
Oh yeah,
resemble Brando. It's really. I'm gonna have to look because I'm not sure. Because the only person I know that I know of familial relation with Billy Zane is Lisa Zane, who was in Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead. Yeah, so yeah. She was actually at Scarefest a couple years back. It was like the first time I'd even seen that she did cons, and then he was there the year after she was. And I wanted to meet him, but I've heard back and forth things about people who have met him. Most people say that he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people were like, he's not that nice if he's having a bad day. And it's just like, I don't really want to, like, I absolutely like just love the fuck out of him. And I don't want to meet him and him just completely just crush me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I'm just going to I want to keep what I know of you the way it is. I don't want to meet you and have that soured.
Well, right. And that's, what do they always talk, say about meeting your heroes?
Yeah.
And I've met a few of mine. And luckily I was pleasantly surprised, or I was not really surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of figured that they would be pretty nice, but but there's been a couple that I've met that I was like, I'm going to ignore that I even ever met you. And then just going to keep going on with my life.
Yeah. Like I know some people, I think JB mentioned he had like a really bad experience with Bill Moseley. And I was like, I had the greatest experience with Bill Moseley. Like he was just the nicest guy.
I know what you're talking about, and I've never heard anybody. I know a lot of people who've met Bill Moseley. I've never gotten to meet Bill Moseley, but I've never heard anyone say that they had a bad experience meeting him except for him. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I was like, maybe he's having a bad day. It's like, I don't know. I was like,
I mean, could have been just one of those moments. He met him at the wrong moment,
He was super nice, and I was blown away because I didn't expect to see him there, and I did a double take, and he just looked at me like, yeah, it's me. I'm like, holy shit.
Right.
Do you know who you are? It was like one of those things.
Yeah. Well, it's like John Carpenter. Like I would love to meet him, but at the same point, like I wouldn't want to hang out with him. Like he's one of those that like he would make me feel like an idiot, like on so many levels. I have a feeling like it would completely, because he's I'm not a director or nothing, but he's a huge influence on story wise on things. Just the way that he thinks, and the way that he's always done things. So like he's one of those that I would hate to meet and have that possibility of being like, left with a bad taste in my mouth. Which going back to Billy Zane, that was the whole thing. It's like, I saw him like standing over there, man. He was smiling and everything looked like it seemed good, but I don't know. He's just one of those where even though he's not the characters he plays, it's just hard for you to see him not being that way. It's like, dude, you're too good at being an asshole. Like I know there's a little bit of that somewhere in you, and I don't want it to ever come out,
Yeah.
But anyway.
So yeah, that's if we're going to talk about this movie, there is a huge elephant in the room, and that's basically the beginning of this film.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So let's just get it out of the way. And I have something interesting I want to throw in, and I want to get your reaction to that.
Okay.
So the opening of this film, we see Sam Neill returning home. Believe he's in the Navy.
Navy, yeah.
I think maybe the Australian or New Zealand Navy. I'm not really sure. It's not the United States because they're both speaking with their native Australian, New Zealand accents.
I
think it's Australian.
Yeah.
And he sees a couple of cops who point him out. Turns out his wife and son were in an accident. He's at the hospital, and they say, well, your son died on impact, but your wife is here. You need to come see her and talk to her, try to, let her know you're here and try to give her something to hold on to live.
Well, he was told originally that the son died on impact, and then he found out from the doctor that he didn't die on impact, but he was put in a coma, and he didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, could have just let him keep thinking the other.
Right.
That's worse. It's like, I wouldn't want to, like, they're like, well, actually, I'd be like, stop right there.
Right.
Just stop right there. I don't want to know about any sort of suffering or anything on impact. That's all I want to know. I think it's already bad enough.
That whole scene's kind of like when he's at the hospital and stuff is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Just because he does go in there and she's right there and they're fucking with her and they're trying to, and he's having, because usually they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be like, oh, we need, that's kind of unheard of. Also with the thing of the doctor telling him the truth about everything. I would say that because, a doctor doesn't want to lie to anybody, wants to tell them the truth. And also with Sam Neill's character being, in the Navy and being, having a military background, probably I would say would want to know the truth, but that's a tough one. And that actually that beginning part of the movie, is why it is. I tried to actually give it a rewatch a few months back.
Mm-hmm.
And that opening just bummed me out so bad. Like, I was like, fuck, man. Cause you hear about it and all that. And it's like, okay, well, that's a bummer. At least you'll have to see it. And then they have the flashback that she wakes up from and they're on the boat. And when you actually see like, oh, this kid was like little and you hear, cause like the doctor even tells him like, his face is pretty fucked up and it's like, God damn, man. And just, and being, being a father, like those kind of scenes, like it's just like they take the air out of it. Now, I will say this: it's not the worst scene that involves kids that I've seen in movies and have heard about in movies or whatever. But sometimes it doesn't really have to be that. It's enough to make a parent like kind of go, huh. To be perfectly honest, that whole flashback scene, I was actually sending a voicemail to a buddy of mine, so I didn't have to pay attention to it.
Yeah, because I don't want to touch on it too much, but they show the flashback. It's Ray driving with her son in the back seat, and he undoes his car seat.
Yeah,
because he drops his stuffed animal. He's like, "I gotta get it," and she's like, "Get back in your seat." And she ends up swerving, hitting another car. They get into this accident, but what you see is the kid flying next to her, and I literally looked at my TV and screamed, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't expecting that.
Right. Yeah, no, that's, I mean, if you really, cause it sucks to have that kind of shit in movies and all that, but I mean, it's part of the story. It makes it more impactful, cause, I think that from a viewer standpoint, I would say the director was, doing what a lot of us in the horror, in the horror literature world do is like, if you want to really kind of show, how much trauma these people are dealing with as is, you've got to at least have some kind of like taste of like, okay, because then when everything does go on the boat, the whole thing that's in the back of your head, the entire movie, is goddamn after everything they've gone through already.
Yeah.
And it's, that's the kind of, it makes you as a viewer, root for the good guy more, and it's more,
Yeah. It gets you invested in them. It makes you relate to them on a level.
Yeah.
But now the interesting thing I found out when I was looking at this is I'm like, okay, this came out in 1989. And it dawned on me. I went, wait a minute. When did Pet Sematary come out? Same year.
Yeah.
Now, here's the funny part. Dead Calm came out April 7th, 1989.
Okay.
Pet Sematary released April 21st, 1989.
Huh.
So April was the month of horrific things happening to children in 89. I was like, holy fuck.
Well, I mean, that's, man.
Like, two movies where if you're not expecting what's going to happen and those scenes play, you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, well, Pet Sematary is one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's not one I watch often.
Yeah.
Because that movie, when it comes to that movie has a lot of impact on me because of, how Gage looked and all that. Cause like, my son was born, blonde hair, blue eyes and all that shit. And I couldn't watch that movie for like the longest time. And then like finally watching it again after months of not watching it after my kid was born, I was like, oh, it'll be all right now. And then I was like, no, there's more to this movie than because it's not just the scene in question. There's also the cemetery scene, and there's the scene at the wake and all that. And
yeah,
that whole movie. That you want to talk about a movie that's just full of emotions. That one definitely. But yeah, it's kind of weird that it came out the same month and year that this did.
Yeah, because I was like, damn, dude, this made me feel like Pet Sematary in that scene where Gage in the truck, even though you don't see anything.
Right.
Like this one, they're like, we're just going to show you what happened, really.
Yeah.
And it's brief. They don't linger on it. It's not exploitative. They're just like, here's the horror that she's seeing in her nightmare.
Yeah.
Every night.
Yeah.
And then once she comes to and you realize, oh, they're on the boat already.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, we're just going to go there. And I was like, this is fine.
Yeah. I see that's also like, the difference between Pet Sematary and Dead Calm when it comes down to that is the fact that, okay, Dead Calm, they show you what's going on. This is the reason why. And then they kind of go away from it enough to where it's not surrounding the whole movie. Really. It's always there in the back of your head. You know what's going on, but it's not, and Pet Sematary, that whole movie is about loss and is about like, what happens when you bring it back.
They go two different directions.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, and also in Pet Sematary, it's almost a little worse in that scene because you don't just see, Gage, like you see him in the road and you see within seconds, you see the truck driver's like vision, what he's seeing as well as what he's seeing. And then that whole movie is like how this family is dealing with it. And the father, is not dealing with it very good at all. No. As one would be. And, it's, yeah, that when a movie focuses, and they keep going back to it, which a lot of movies these days do, they always go back to that horrific thing and they allude to it. Movies like Dead Calm and Pet Sematary, though, the thing is like they'll give, they pretty much give you everything. Like, okay, this is what happened here, blah, blah, blah. And in movies these days, you kind of have an idea. They speak about the trauma that happened, the characters will talk about, and they'll talk about it, and then they'll have that one scene where somebody will be telling the story of what happened or a nightmare or something like that, but whatever, go on a tangent.
It's just, it's used really well in Dead Calm because it gives us the info we need as to why she's taking medication,
right? Why
they're out on the boat,
Yeah.
It gives you everything you need. It's like, okay, horrific events. She had to recover from a ton of injuries and trauma.
Yeah.
And John's solution is let's get away from everyone and everything. That way we're not sitting there dwelling on this thing. We can get out there and kind of work through it, you and me, together, out on the ocean, away from everything.
Yeah. Seems like a good idea.
Yeah. Until they run across Huey Ward rowing his boat. That it's not even right away because they're giving you it really slows down after that opening with the flashback nightmare.
Yeah.
It slows down and gives you what these two are doing. They're what they're doing on the boat. She goes off and swims, he's, piloting everything. And then they just happen to see a ship off in the distance. And he's like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And he goes down, turns on his radar equipment and his radio, tries to call to him, doesn't get anything. He's like, okay, well, let me log this in my journal here. And then they happen to see a guy rowing a dinghy towards their boat.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to help. I don't know if I would help somebody in that situation. I'm like, we're out on the middle of the ocean. I don't know this person I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes me a terrible person, but it's like, we're out in the middle of nowhere. They could just take me out and nobody's going to know.
Right. Well, I think that also you got to look at John's, history. He's, and the way he talks and the way he is when they're on the boat, he's still also, on Navy time. He's still doing what he's checking everything he's doing. He's still in that mindset. And I think that, cause he's apprehensive about it too. And then also when old dude actually comes up on the boat, he doesn't really give off the first great impression either.
No.
He he comes rowing, cause they see this boat and she's like, let's just not worry about it. And he goes, well, they're obviously in trouble, so he of course has to go check this shit out. And they see old dude, rowing, and then they help him up there and he just acts all fucking weird and is all hunkered down and underneath their bar and all this stuff. And he's just not making any sense. And you already have a sense of like, okay, this he's off.
Yeah.
Sam Neill, like John, the character John, he's already kind of like, he doesn't feel right about it either. Which,
yeah. Which they show. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I was like, they talk to him for a little bit and it's just like if somebody was to answer the questions that he was clearly not answering right, I would be apprehensive as shit too.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you act like this? It's like you're on, like you said, you're in the middle of the ocean. There's no one else around. There's no telling what's going on with this guy. He's not acting right. There's something else there. And then, so it's like you don't want to, even if you're like, okay, you're acting weird. You can't really allude to the fact that you feel suspect over him, so they do, but they, which is just, go on and say what you were going to say. Cause I don't want to jump ahead, if you will.
No, I was going to say they give us the inkling that John is very much like apprehensive of this guy. Cause after Huey shows him the passports and stuff of everyone else that was on the boat, and he's like, they're all dead. They ate. I always thought salmon was for cats, and they're like, oh, maybe botulism.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, John tells him, look, why don't you go lay down, get some sleep? We'll talk after you get some rest. Ray takes him into the room, but then John immediately locks that door.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to stay in there because I don't really trust him.
Well, he waits for a second. He goes, he gives him a minute, and then he walks in there and dude's out, and then he locks the door. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, he's out. I'm locking this door. And I don't blame him.
No.
Because it's like, he's acting manic. He's not making any sense. He's got the passports of other people on the boat that he was on that's sinking. It's like,
yeah.
It's a little weird, but okay.
I mean, for that, because you're first like, well, why do you have all those passports? But like for me, if I was in a situation where like legit there was people that died because they were sick or whatever the fuck, I would make sure that like everybody, it's like, okay, these people are dead. People need to be notified or whatever. That's how I would take that. But but when you add that on top of how he was acting and all that, it would be kind of another question of suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's funny because John's like, okay, why don't we go back to that boat? Check it out. We can get any of your gear that's left. And he just freaks out. He's like, gear? What? No, it's gone. He just freaks out.
Yeah.
But then when Huey's asleep, John's like, I'm going to go check out that boat. And Ray's like, do you think you should? He's like, yeah, it won't take me long. I'll be back here soon.
Yeah, he's sleeping like a baby. He won't wake up.
And then this is where I want to say, once he gets to the boat, all the tension in the world is thrown into this movie.
Oh, yeah.
As it is, I don't even want to go scene by scene. We just need to talk about everything.
Yeah.
Because
the minute he's off the boat and he's in the dinghy and he's going across, which by the way, I don't know why. I mean, I know he didn't want to wake him up and be kind of weird, but I thought they could have just drove the fucking, like, you know, taken the boat over there and it'd been a whole lot easier, or gotten a little closer. Cause, you know, there's a point where he's about halfway there and he looks back, and I'm just sitting there thinking, yeah, man, there's like, you still got a way.
Yeah.
And he's looking off at his boat, and it's just like, God damn. See, that would be completely weary for me. The minute that I'm off that boat, now my wife is on this boat with a stranger, and I'm going to go over here and see if this guy is possibly, like, there's dead people on board.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's already said they're all dead. Okay. Well, it could be botulism, or this guy's a fucking psycho. And you know, and then he gets over there and he's looking at stuff, and then everything, you know, was kind of, you know, because the dude told him that it was flooding and all that, and it is. And it's just like, you're seeing him go through all this stuff, and then you're seeing old dude wake up over on the other boat, and he is, you know, hooting and hollering and all this shit or whatever. And she tries to get the boat over there, and he ends up, you know, he ends up popping up through. But before then, you're also seeing John in the other boat scoping things out, and then he ends up seeing a hallway, and it's full of water, and the water coming out of one of those rooms is red. And and he's like, well, if they just died from, you know, botulism, why is there blood? Right. Which, I mean, bodies laying in water for a good little bit. I mean, that could be something too, but there was a lot of red in there.
Yeah.
And then he opens up that fucking door, and the floodgates literally open up, and he is like covered in dead people, and they're cut up and all this shit. And is that before or after he sees the video? That before.
It was before.
Okay. Yeah.
It was before, because it was dark in there, and he's like, okay, can't really see.
Yeah.
He opens that, there's just dead bodies. One of them's been decapitated, because you see the head just kind of floating in the water. Like, what the fuck?
You see female torsos, and you know, they did a really good job making sure things looked accurate.
Yeah.
Because he looks over, and like, because he's like, you know, he's got all this water, and he's like engulfed in water, and there's dead people everywhere, and you're seeing, you know, couple of decapitated heads, and then there's like a naked woman's body floating, and he turns around, and like her badge is right in his face. Like, yeah, looking very 80s of her.
Yeah, very much so. And not to backtrack too much here, but there was a little point, and we didn't mean to gloss over it, but they also have their dog on the boat with them. John.
Oh yeah,
their little dog Benji, and they show us that they play fetch.
Yeah,
they throw the tennis ball overboard. Benji jumps out, gets it, brings it back to the boat. So it comes into play later. Yeah. I was thinking, and I'm like, oh, we didn't even mention the dog. Yeah,
I meant to mention that actually. And you know, the thing is though about that, I love how they're just so not worrying about a shark or something coming up and just grabbing that little dog.
No.
I don't understand that at all. There's not anybody that I know that would be like, oh yeah, just jump over, you know, go. No, that just doesn't seem like a good idea at all. That it would take a predator of the water, that's not too much bigger than that dog to just go, oh, food.
Yep.
And that's not even, yeah.
This is not a very big dog.
No, it's
a small little fucker.
Yeah, a little mop. A mop of legs. Like, which of course, I mean, like, you know, any thriller, suspense, horror movie or whatever that, has dogs, it kind of, there's the other tension too. Cause the whole movie you're going, when's it going to happen?
Yeah. Because there was a couple of times I was like, oh, Huey's going to throw the dog overboard, or
that's what I kept thinking too.
He's going to like slam the dog against something, or, you know, we're just going to see him on screen, like grab the dog, and then they're going to cut away, and we're just going to hear a whimper.
Yeah. Right.
So you're like, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't remember.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I couldn't remember what actually happened with it. Like I said, it had been years since I've seen this movie, but that was something else too. Movies back then, If there was ever, if there's children or animals, like you were very apprehensive, like, okay, this is a horror movie. I know something. Is it going to get me? Is it going to make me believe it? Or is it actually going to happen? You know?
There were a few directors you knew wouldn't cross that line. So like, okay. But then for some, it was like, no, everyone's fair game. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's on the chopping block next.
Right.
It could be the dog. It could be the kids. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's like,
which, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that want to bitch and complain about that. Here's an interesting little side topic. There's a lot of people that bitch and complain about when, animals are killed in movies and whatever. Mm-hmm. I'll use it as a great example. Have you seen the new Evil Dead?
I haven't seen the newest one, but I've heard of what happens. I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Like that's, I won't go into too much about it, but there, that was a big thing. People bitching about it, whatever. People seem to forget that a dog was viciously killed in the remake too. But they don't bring that up. I guess that was way before everybody thought it was a trend to bitch about everything. Here's the thing. People forget that this shit happens. It's like in Terrifier 3. Mm-hmm. Anybody that likes the Terrifier movie, like we knew it was coming next.
Yeah.
Okay. We already knew it was coming. But it makes sense. Sometimes you have to step back from your high horse and realize that, hey, why would bad people stop at hurting animals or kids?
Yeah.
Now I don't like it. I don't like it either, but sometimes that does happen. And also they throw in certain things in movies to piss off people because they know they're going to bitch and complain. That's what people do anymore.
Yeah.
People talk about agendas. Well, I think agendas anymore for people watching movies just so they can complain about them. Because that's, and they also like, that's the other thing though, is I'll just go ahead and say this too, is like, people also want to forget the fact that the dog does come back, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But I mean, I love Pet Sematary too.
Yeah.
Like things happen, and that's, in the book world, that's one thing people bitch about. The triggers. Oh, I can't read this because, Sparky was killed, but yet they're okay with kids being brutally killed and whatever else. It's so weird. It's so weird to me. So I have actually, because I am the kind of guy that I am, I will go ahead and say this now. Everything I write from this day forward, an animal will die in it. Why? Not because I hate animals. I love animals. And that's exactly why I'm doing it, because I like animals more than people. And if me doing that in a book is going to make some asshole whine and cry and complain and whatever, then cool. I'm killing two birds with one stone. Yeah.
And here's the thing. There's never been an animal that has been killed on screen where you're like, well, they deserved it.
No.
That doesn't happen.
No. I'm trying to think about that one actually. And it's like, even movies like, Cujo.
I was just, okay, we're on the same page, so I was just thinking that.
Right, yeah. Because it's like you can't really get mad at the dog.
No.
It's not his fault, So it's like, yeah, there's, even movies where, like the movie The Pact or The Pack or whatever. It's about another Australian movie. They have a lot of places where a lot of stray dogs are around. And this movie is about a pack of wild dogs who surround this family. Now, granted, they're a little smarter than dogs usually are. There's some shit in the movies that's definitely Hollywood, or definitely like, it's the movies. But even then in a real situation, you can't get mad at the animal because it's what they know.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting point to bring up. I'm sitting there thinking about it, and it's like, no, because like, yeah, in movies, the animals are just doing what they know.
Yeah.
And if you're a stranger in their land, I mean, we are a stranger in their land, and, they come walking around, then it's like, you're out hiking and a rattlesnake is in your path. Okay. Well, first off, you need to respect that animal because you're in its home.
Yep.
People go, oh, well, I'll get a stick and beat it, or I'll, blah, blah. Like, you don't have to. You don't have to. But you also, like, for me, it's like, well, I'm just going to turn around and walk the other way. I'm like, fuck with this,
Yeah.
And just don't fuck with nature sometimes, but yeah, I had not ever really thought about that. But yeah, there's never been a time in a movie, where I've actually legitimately, like, hated the animal that much that I can think of.
Yeah. Majority of people will immediately be like, oh, there's an animal in this book, or there's a dog in this book, or a cat in this book, or whatever in this book, movie, TV show. And immediately it's like, oh, I hope nothing bad happens to that animal. And if something does, it's immediately like, oh, it's a gut punch.
Yeah.
But when done right, it's used for a reason. Even look at something like The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't intentional that Clark had to go put down several of his dogs.
Right.
But he was trying to save them from a worse fate, considering there was an alien in there that was going to fuck with them anyway.
True. Right.
And I know people would be like, oh, even the people he was there with were like, he's gone crazy. He's killing the dogs.
Right.
And then they see him, they're like, oh, no, he was actually saving the dogs in a sense.
Right. Right. And you could even actually go with, like, the end of The Mist.
Yeah.
Like the way that was done, it leaves you with your jaw on the ground. It's like, oh, well, here we are. We're at the end. There's nothing's going to save us. Like, we're fucked. Everything's fucked. I'm going to go ahead and take care of everybody in the car. And right after he kills his own son, fucking, here comes the fucking, there's the
military.
Yeah. Here comes the cavalry to save the day. And it's like, God, and then you're left thinking about that the rest of your day.
That ending worked for me, and I know so many people who were like, they changed it from the book, and it's not the same, it doesn't work. I'm like, no. It does work, because think about it. This whole time, they're like, how are we going to get through this?
Right.
How do we know we're going to survive? These are the last people left from that store. Everyone else is already gone. So he's thinking, we're either going to get somewhere, or we're not, and I already have a contingency plan that's going to take us all out if we're not getting any further.
Right.
And they couldn't go any further. So he's like, all right. And he didn't plan for himself.
Right.
And it's like, it makes sense. It's like, and this might sound weird, but it's like he was punished for a decision that he went to too quickly. If he'd have waited another couple of minutes.
If you would have waited 10 minutes, it's always 10 minutes.
Yeah. And it's not saying like he did a bad thing. It's just like, now you have to deal with the fact that you could have waited and there was somebody that would have helped you.
Yeah.
But now you got to deal with the consequences of what your decision was. And I'll say this, if a movie or book has the balls to kill a child, I commend them for it.
If it's done in a way to, because the thing is, like, if it's done in a way, that moves the story, more,
That's the thing.
If it's done in a way that doesn't just seem,
exploitative.
Right. Which, unfortunately, in the book world, you get a lot of that.
Yeah,
a lot more.
And
movies.
Trauma exists, so.
Well, but there's books. There's people that have written books that I speak very highly, or not highly of, but I'm very on the soapbox against them, and they know that I'm against them because of the shit that they've written.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It has to be. What are the words I'm looking for? Jesus, I can't even fucking think right now. It has to be something that works in the story. It has to be something that moves the story along. It can't just be, oh, well, here's the side thing and these kids got killed. Anyway, back to the main story. No.
Right.
It's like, look at Trick or Treat. They had the bus full of kids that were sent off the cliff.
Yeah.
And it paid off because there was a reason they were telling you that happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, oh, here's the story and then move on to something else. It was like, well, wait, what? Why did you do that? No, they paid it off. As long as there's a reason for it, I'm fully behind it.
Yeah. Which I love that movie. That is a hard segment of that movie to watch.
Yeah. The first time I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is heartbreaking.
I'm just like, ugh.
But yeah, I mean, there's a right way and a wrong way to go about that thing, you know, as long as it gets the point across of what needs to be said, and it's not done for, because like, I'll be perfectly honest, man, in the book world, there's people out there that basically write fucking, it's child smut, and they try to slap a genre on it that it's like, no, you're writing something totally different. You're not writing anything like horror. You're writing some weird fucking jerk off material for some fucking pedo down the road.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the way you don't do it. You know, I mean, hell, there's a couple authors that they had a book out, that actually got really popular. And I guess after they did some thinking on it, the opening of that book it's not a bad book. It's a revenge book. But the bad thing about it is the opening of it. There's a very graphic scene. I'm not even going to fucking say what it is. And the way it's written is very, very, like, it's not tasteful whatsoever, and it's done really poorly. It's very, very graphic. And they actually have, one of the authors that worked on it actually went back and redid a lot of those scenes because he doesn't actually feel comfortable having them in the book, and enough people have bitched about it. I think so. Yeah, but there's just a right way and a wrong way to do things, and I think are you doing it for shock value, or are you just trying, or are you actually trying to get into the emotion of the audience? You know, you can have traumatic stuff in a movie that has happened already, and you can make it to where. I mean, you don't have to even show anything for it to be completely emotional, for the viewer, but just enough, and I think that this scene, the scene with the kid in Dead Calm, I think it was just enough to get you going. Okay. Because like you said, it wakes up. I like that. I like the fact that she wakes up on the boat and you're like, okay. This is obviously a nightmare she has every day of her life since it fucking happened. Exactly. So she's already going through shit. They're both already going through shit, but she lived it more so than he had to. And I'd say that it's still fresh. I mean, like, because like I would say that she needed a few months to heal and to really kind of be able to even move out of bed, because she doesn't have any, like, there's no bruises on her or nothing,
No, and you can tell she's fully physically, body-wise recovered from the accident.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, so like it gets the point across that we know that they're going through shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I have to say this. They built so much tension and suspense between two different sets because you have the sinking boat with John and everything he's trying to do to get it to run.
Yeah.
Basically. And we'll get there because it's not right away. But then you have Ray and Huey on the main boat and everything that's going down there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh God, what's going to happen here?
Yeah. And then you have both of them. You got you've got John on the other boat wondering what's going on over there. And then you have, her wondering what's going on with him. Because remember, because I don't think we got there yet. I think we were getting ready to, and we went off on that tangent. But he tries to make it back to her.
Yeah.
And Huey pops up through the bottom window thing right as he's getting closer and closer, and she's having to fight him off. And God, gets so close. That whole part is very like, God damn it, because like he almost gets her, and she gets knocked out. And he almost gets fucking chopped up by a goddamn boat blade.
Yeah.
Ugh, that creeps me the fuck out. Ugh.
As he's getting closer and he's yelling, Ray, jump,
yeah,
just jump. And Huey throws her down. She gets knocked out. And he's like, okay, I'm close enough. I'm going to try and jump and get on the boat.
That's what it was, yeah.
And gets his arm hit by the propeller because Huey's like, I'm going to start the engine and just sail this thing far enough away.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck. And right there I was like, okay, he's going to nope, he missed. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then there's the tension as he's in the water watching this boat just get further and further away. You see the red in the water.
Yeah.
And it takes him a minute, and you're like, dude, you're bleeding a lot. You're in the middle of the ocean, you're bleeding a lot. I know it's not going to happen instantly, but holy shit, you need to get back in that dinghy, please.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he
not
does,
a place
like,
to be
okay.
bleeding.
No.
Yeah, but he pulls a MacGyver though.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets back to the other boat, and he's in full on. He's like, I gotta figure out some way to get her because there's no telling what's going to happen. And he ends up with finding all kinds of shit. And the one thing that kind of creeped me out though was he's back on the boat and he's trying to get stuff. Trying to figure out what he can fix, what needs to be done, all that shit. And it's starting to get darker, and I'm like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not only are you in the middle of the ocean, which scares the living fuck out of me anyway.
Yeah.
But you're also on a boat that is full of water, and there's bodies all over the place, and you have no light, like you're just in the dark. Which, I mean, he does get some shit taken care of. It slowly but surely ends up working. But yeah, just that whole thought of just being, it just freaks me out, man. Like, me and the ocean are not friends.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I wasn't meant to fly, and I wasn't meant to swim. So I had a buddy who was on a cruise a few years back, and he called me, a video called me to show me, and he was sitting on the top, and he was showing me like all this shit going on, down below, and I was like, crazy. He goes, but look at this, and he turns his camera around, and it's just black. It's just black, and it's just in the middle of the night. There's like, he turns one area, and there's all these people everywhere, and it's a big party and all this shit, and then he turns back around, and it's just black. And the thing is, I'm like, I don't know how you're doing that, because he's terrified of that shit too. But we took a shot, and we were only actually on the phone for like 3 minutes, and it cost him like $40.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I was like, God damn, dude, my bad. But yeah, it makes me shudder to think about. Like, I've been on the ocean a couple of times, but yeah, no, no. If you want to see me like get really like uncomfortable feeling, like, put on any movie that involves somebody in the middle of the ocean. This one especially. Just the whole idea of it freaks me out. But yeah, it's not. It doesn't freak me out as bad as, like, 47 meters down. That movie is a whole other level of anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you there.
But open water, all that shit or whatever. But yeah, to the tension you were talking about, like, just, I couldn't imagine, where you're on this fucking boat that you're just hoping you can get running again. Meanwhile, your wife is on a fucking boat with a fucking lunatic, and they're out of sight, or out of eyesight, for the time being. Like, that's a terrifying, like, how do you he knows he has to do something to, so he can't just sit there and mope. But it's like, but how the fuck do you concentrate? Like, that's, man.
Yeah. The only thing I can say is the fact that he was in the Navy, and he even said 25 years on the water.
Right.
With the Navy. Yeah. So it's like, okay, he gets how to compartmentalize stuff and be like, I need to get this boat in working order so I can get moving.
Right.
And you can tell he's like, I have to get there. And the drive is, I have to get there because I need to make sure my wife is okay. So, like, he rigs up a pump to start pumping water out of the boat in the beginning. I'm like, okay, all right. I didn't realize what it was at first. I'm like, why is he cranking this thing? Is that to start the engine? No, it was to pump water out, which
yeah,
I was like, smart, but
God, I mean, when you're out there and all you got's time, I guess you're just gonna, and you've got to get it done. But yeah, what a pain in the ass.
And it's two types of tension, really. Because there's the tension with him. You're like, okay, is he going to get this boat up and running? How is he going to get to her? And then you cut over to where Ray and Huey are, and you're like, okay, how is she going to survive this lunatic?
Yeah.
Who seems to be acting like he's now the replacement husband?
Yeah, he kind of goes into some weird thing, yeah.
It's really weird. But what I like is you see the moments of her going, okay, I just got to go along with this until I can get an opportunity to either lock him up, take him out, or whatever, so I can turn this boat around and get back to John.
Yeah.
And it gets really, really gross.
Oh.
Between those two.
Oh, man. I mean, yeah.
But it's gross because of Billy Zane and his character. She's just doing what she has to do to survive.
Yeah.
But it's basically rape. I mean, let's call it what it is.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what it is. Completely.
And
well, I mean, first off, I mean, like when she wakes up and she realizes she still, has her arm and her head dangling over the side of the boat. He's up there listening to music and dancing around and not even having a care in the world really. Like he just thinks he's got the out.
Yeah.
And it's like he really does, because like he's trying to convince her, oh well, he's gone. Don't worry about him now. Like it's gonna be all right. Like,
yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? But the bad thing is, she realizes real quick that the only way she's gonna be able to survive, to buy her time, she's gonna have to be flirty back.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's one scene early on, and I think it's just after he's talking about they were trying to kill me. They wanted to kill me. She's like, nobody was trying to kill you. He goes, are you telling me I'm crazy? Say it again. And she's like, okay, I don't think they intend. She's trying to figure out how to navigate this, because she's like, you say certain things, he's going to go off the deep end.
Right.
And he is really all over the place, because one moment he's dancing, listening to music, and then the next moment it's like, oh no.
Right.
What the fuck is going on?
Well, I mean, shit. Oh, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, my headphone kind of came off. Sorry. But yeah, he really, that's you kind of figure out like, okay, this guy, because you're kind of figuring out like, is this guy a vicious killer? Is he, what's his story? What's the deal with him? Whatever the fuck. And then, when he starts kind of trying to convince her or whatever, I think that's around the time that you really get like, okay, they're, I think that's when she starts realizing he's actually a fucking nutcase.
Yeah.
She knows that the only way she's going to be able to get out of this if she goes by whatever he says. And most people, most professionals in, negotiating or whatever the fuck, will tell people to do whatever they're told if they can't fight it.
Yeah.
At least they did it one time. I don't know if it's changed or whatever. Now they try to tell you to fight as much as possible. At one time, I guess because, women weren't seen as having strength or whatever. Because if you think about like some of the old, self-defense, kind of like stuff or whatever, women weren't really told to fight that much.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird realization I'm thinking about. But yeah, it was like, just do what you're told and you'll be fine. And now at least it's pretty much like, look, if you can get out of this, figure out every which way you can.
Yeah.
Without having to hurt yourself. So yeah, that's God, what a fucked up thing.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Always fight, no matter what. 'Cause Jesus Christ. Whatever. That's for another podcast too, but yeah.
Yeah. And something else I forgot to mention is early on when they first bring Huey aboard their boat, John is looking through his bag after Huey has gone to sleep, and he finds like the logbook from the journal or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
From the other boat. And he's going through and seeing all this stuff. And then he comes across this like ad that's needing 4 girls for a boat trip or something like that. I remember exactly what it was, but it was one of the things that got him to go, I need to go really check out what that other boat has going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this is weird. So there was a few more circumstances. And what's crazy is when he finally gets power to the boat and you see the TV playing that video.
Yeah.
It's really weird because you get early on some interactions and whoever the guy was running the boat is just berating Huey. You don't put me on camera. What did I fucking tell you? And all this shit. You're like, what is happening? And we're only getting snippets.
Yeah.
We can't piece anything together. And then at some point, we're hearing a more manic Huey on the tape. It's never truly clear what his intentions were, if he's just a psychopath or what.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. We don't really, we just know Ray's in danger because this guy's obviously out of his mind, but we're not sure exactly why he's out of his mind.
Let's see. Okay. So watching the video on there, I kind of got that he was supposed to be more of like just taking orders and he just kind of got tired of it and snapped.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I kind of like took it, because like you see that he's getting shit every second on that video pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'd say that's was he crazy before? Who knows? There's a possibility that him flipping out and doing all that is the beginning of his psychosis. And then also because he also kind of acts like he's getting sick or something towards the end too. So like I think he actually is sick with something, but the botulism part.
Yeah, it could very well be. There's never a clear answer. Like they don't get, oh, this is why. It's just guy on the ocean. The boat he was on has people that are dead. He most likely killed every one of them.
Right.
And the only other thing is you'd be like, well, did the other guy go crazy and kill the girls, and then he killed that guy in a matter of self-defense? It's like,
yeah,
it's who knows? But he's obviously out of his goddamn mind.
Yeah, they never really give you a full answer on what actually happened. They just have it to where like you kind of allude to the fact that he must have killed all of them, because it doesn't really like, well, I mean there is a part on that video where it's showing him because isn't there a part on the video where the guy's like they're all screaming, he's like, oh, is this what you want now, and or something, and it shows him like he's flipping out on the guy and he's getting ready to he's torturing him or some shit.
I think there is.
There's a part.
Like I said, this is only the first time I've seen it, so this is definitely one I have to go back and watch to pick up on all those little things. So I think you're correct in that, but
yeah, because John's watching the VHS and it's on for a while, and then like he goes off to do something, and then he comes back, and there's another part of the video where it's like screaming and yelling, and it's like people, it's like them, like he's like laughing or like maniacal, and like they're like, oh, I'm gonna get you or some shit whenever or some
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's definitely something I can't fully remember for some reason, but yeah, but still, like there is still a question of was anybody actually trying to kill him, or did he just lose his fucking mind?
Yeah.
But I would say okay, hold on, scratch that. Going back to John being on that boat, and the more that he's getting stuff figured out, and then he ends up does he end up calling, like does she end up like being like, oh, I'm just gonna see if I can get a hold of that? That's what it is. That's what she hears something on the radio because she's got it on and she's writing something down. Right.
And then she's hearing like static, and she's like, okay, John, is that you? And then he's trying to talk because he was trying to call, and she's only hearing like the static clicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come to find out, as he's trying to talk, the microphone's busted, but the button that allows him to talk still works.
Yeah.
So real smart. She starts asking yes or no questions.
Right.
Like, are you okay? Yes. Is the boat sinking? Yes. Is it? And trying to figure out, okay, how long do you think you have? Well, they end up, he's got about 6 hours, he's estimating. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's not a long time.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know if people would really appreciate those scenes with her on the radio as much as I think they should.
Oh, right.
Just because
she figured out what he was saying.
Yeah. She figured out what was going on, and I'm like, this proves that she's not just damsel in distress.
Yeah.
She's got her wits about her. She's thinking. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd say he's probably, instilled some shit and, some knowledge and, like, if this happens, that kind of thing.
Yeah. This isn't the first time they've taken this boat out on the ocean. They've done this before.
Right. Yeah.
Because in the beginning, we see there's a routine, and even in the end, we see there's a routine they have.
Yeah.
But it's also, I don't know if you were thinking this way, but every time she grabbed that radio and was talking to John, I was like, when's Huey going to show up and like break the radio or like start to strangle her with the cord? What's going to happen? And he doesn't ever find out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of times where like it definitely seems like he would be walking up behind her, like in those kind of scenes. But you never got that.
And the last time she goes up and he's just like laying on one of the sail masts, like one of the poles, just like just chilling, listening to music again. It's like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he believes everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. And what I like is they devise a small plan for Ray to disable the engine so it'll give John time to catch up.
Right. Yeah.
And she does that. She pulls out, I don't even know, it looked like a card. So I don't know boats. I don't know boat engines. Something that is needed to allow the engine to run is all I know. Is it a key? It might have been a key. That's probably what it was a key. And I just didn't see it because it just looked like this big red card, which was probably something in case they dropped it would float.
Right, yeah.
And she gets it, and Huey's like, oh, okay, you took that. No.
Yeah.
And she throws it overboard. In the eye line of their dog, Benji.
Yeah. Who goes right after it.
And he goes right after it and brings it right back. It's like, God damn it.
Right.
That was the one time where I was like, don't. I was like, oh God, they teased this. I was like, yep, we know exactly what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh God. And he's able to get it back, and yeah.
Yeah, I was figuring that I figured when he gets the key back, and he was getting the dog back on the boat, I thought he was going to end up, like I said, it's been a while, so I couldn't remember much about it either. And I thought he was just going to get the key and just like launch the dog or some shit, but
yeah, I drag her along with him, throw the dog back overboard.
Yeah,
because the dog can't get back on the boat on its own. They have to reach down and lift the dog back onto the boat.
Yeah.
So that's what I figured. And it was like, no, he'd let the dog back. I was like, okay. All right. So the dog's fine. For now.
Yeah. For now. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the way this movie moves. It moves quick. It really does move quick once everything gets going.
Oh, yeah. Because it's like, like an hour and 45 minutes or some shit?
Yeah.
It goes by. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's that long.
And it's crazy how quick John's situation goes from, okay, it's looking up. He's got the power to the boat. He's got it running. He's got it moving. He's going to start moving and making some ground. And then everything just goes to shit again. The boat starts taking on even more water. I think what was it like? He was punching holes with a knife or something. Yeah. I don't know if it was like to equalize pressure so it wouldn't take on as much water so quick.
Yeah, it was something like that.
But the claustrophobia as the water level is going up, and the fact that he's still trying to pump out the water.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is a losing battle.
Yeah, dude, I don't do good with that shit.
I was just like, no, he's got like 2 inches and keep it. I'm like, no, and I will say it was convenient, but it does make sense as the boat was such a fucking wreck that he found a pole to the outside that was able to give him air.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, you lucky fucker. But he had the blow in it first.
Yeah, which knocked out cockroaches.
Yeah, it's like, oh. It's like, that's so gross.
Because there's no telling what he actually ended up breathing in. But, I mean, it saved him. But, yeah, nasty. And then, and he also has to hold his breath for a minute too, because he gets enough air, to where he's able to, he feels like he can swim through it.
Yeah.
And then ends up actually getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
That man.
Because you can see for a moment, he's like, okay, is this what I'm stuck doing? Is just staying underwater until I give up? Just trying to breathe from this tube. And then a fish just kind of swims by, like, oh, hey. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. How did a fish get in here?
Yeah.
So obviously he figures out we didn't even talk about the reason he got trapped is because lightning struck the boat he was on.
Oh, that's right.
Knocked down the main mast, and it fell through the deck of the boat and blocked off the door. The one way in and out of this area of the boat he's in. I was like, there's got to be another way out. Nope.
That's crazy.
And he was trying everything. Like, he's throwing his shoulder into it.
Bad timing all around.
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
The fact that he swims and gets out, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's a long time because when he comes up to the surface, it's dark out. I was like, oh, fuck.
Is it dark when he comes out?
It's darker. It's not completely dark yet.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It's not completely dark out. Yeah, until he starts, dumping gasoline and stuff all over the boat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He to basically use it as hoping to use it as a one big flare.
Yeah, because at one point he's like gathering, as the water level's rising, he's going through the boat kind of gathering supplies. You're like, what is this you're doing?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't, I don't think he gets to use it because he's got to swim off unless it was somewhere he could get to it outside of that room. But yeah, he gets gasoline and takes a lantern and throws it and sets that whole ship ablaze.
Yeah. He's got a big smile on his face at first about it.
Yeah. Which at this point, on the other boat, Ray has, allowed Huey to do his thing to her.
Yeah.
She has tried to get him down multiple times. Right. She drugged him, tried to use the shotgun against him, and that didn't go over
well. Yeah.
Because he threw her around like a rag doll and then ended up firing a couple shots. But this is when the drugs that she had taken for her issues, obviously stemming from the trauma of losing their child in such a horrific way.
Yeah.
She gave a ton to him and just drugged his ass and then tied him up.
Yeah.
Now, I believe, was that after the harpoon or was that just before the harpoon incident?
I want to say it's before the harpoon because doesn't he wake up?
Yeah, because he gets free. Because he's able to use a knife and get free. He's like cutting up his hands as he's doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, because she ties him up and
she turns the boat around and starts heading toward.
That's right. Yeah.
John. She sees it. She's like, wait a minute. What is that bright thing over there?
Yeah.
It's like, it's got to be him. She turns the boat around, starts it up, and is heading that way. Actually, no, she doesn't start it up. She lowers the sails because there's wind and they're out of fuel.
Yeah.
And while she's doing all that is when he's come to and he's cutting through the ropes that she tied him up with, which I'll say smart on her part to tie him up.
Well, yeah.
It slowed him down.
Yeah. And then he gets through there and then she's got the harpoon on him when he comes to the door, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
And she shoots him once. And as she's reloading, he just pulls himself off of the harpoon that he got shot with.
Yeah.
Because it's not like an arrow. There's no, fletching on the end. It's just a pole. So he slides off because it goes right through his shoulder and pins him to the door.
Yeah.
And... oh, wait, we missed... Yeah, because there was a scene before that with the harpoon gun where she locked herself in a room.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
okay.
and this is where... Yeah. See, there's so much that happens.
The timeline of it's kind of hard to...
Yeah, and I think that was just before... I think that was just before she ended up... God, because that happened. She had the harpoon, got into I think their bedroom or something, or one of the rooms that she could lock the door.
Yeah.
And he was beating on the door, and then he stopped. And she fired once, and the harpoon just went right through the door, didn't hit anything. And then she loaded it again, because you could see the door handle moving, and I was like, that's the dog. Don't shoot, that's the dog.
Right.
And she does, and you hear a little whimper.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it registered to her what happened, but she saw blood trickling down. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because she doesn't really make a big deal about it.
Not until she actually sees, and then she's like,
oh, that's right.
Right in the moment, and is like, oh, fuck. And then I think it's like, you made me kill my dog.
Right.
Because I just have a feeling he coaxed the dog to go to the door.
Oh, I'd say he picked up the dog. That was the whole thing. Is like he picked up the dog and put the dog against the door, and he started moving the handle, knowing that she was going to end up shooting through it.
Yeah, and then is the scene where he chases her, and then she gets back up there, and then she shoots him in the shoulder with the harpoon.
Okay,
and she did that, and then she reloads it as he pulls himself off.
Yeah,
and he just stands there, and she's got it up to his neck, and I'm like, just fucking pull the trigger.
Right.
No, but she beats the shit out of him and knocks him out. Like, hits him in the balls, knocks him out.
That's right. Yeah.
And then she ends up taking their life raft, throwing it overboard, and pushing him onto it, and untying it. Like, there you go. Just...
Right, yeah.
You could wake up out in the middle of the ocean for all I care. And I was like, that's cool, but I would have killed him.
Right.
Personally.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then, she finally makes her way to John.
Yeah.
Because
this is the first movie out of the two that I know of that Billy Zane has been in where there's a guy in the middle of the ocean freezing.
Odd that it happened twice.
Yeah. And he's the bad guy in both of them.
But what I love about this is by the time Ray gets there, the boat that John set on fire has now sunk. That signal fire is extinguished.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, well, if she doesn't show up, I guess this is where I'm gonna be. This is where it ends. And he's just laying on this little life raft thing that he's put together. Oops. Had the alarm go off.
Oh.
And then, she starts flashing a light because she's seeing something. And they're reunited. He swims to the boat. She pulls him up. And at this point you think, oh, happily ever after.
Right.
Not really.
No, they end up, because she thinks that he's gone and everything. And John goes to make her breakfast after they're having a whole conversation about what they're going to have when they get back and what they want for lunch and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they already had the shot before all this where it showed the side of the boat and it showed that there was a string that was cut and there was a bloody handprint on the side of it.
Yeah. Because they had found the life raft floating.
That's right. Yeah,
they're
they
like,
found it.
Okay.
They caught it on fire.
They caught it was just floating. And then Ray grabbed one of the flares and was like, nope. She shot one and then a second one, set it on fire. And John was like, nope, set it adrift. If he's on there, he's going to burn. And then they show the other side of the boat where there's a bloody handprint and the rope from before. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
She goes swimming, comes up. John's washing her hair. They're talking about what they want to eat and this and that. John goes downstairs to do all that. And as she's talking, you just see two bloody hands grabbing her head because John was washing her hair.
Yeah. And you already know it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's like, God damn. And it just, from there, he's trying to strangle her with the towel.
Right, yeah.
John's completely unaware of what's going on. He's setting up his tray downstairs. He's got the avocado and the juice and everything, and he's about to go upstairs. He gets up to the top, and then he looks over, because you see the shadow of them struggling through the sail.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and I have to say, this is one of the best kills I've seen.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I like this kill a lot.
Because you're like, okay, is he going to go tackle him? No, he grabs one of the same flares that Ray had used just a little while ago, fires it directly at the sail where Huey is, hits him square in the mouth, and this thing blows out the back of Huey's head. His whole head is just...
Yeah.
His eyes are lighting up. There's like flames coming out of his eyes, flames come out of the back of his head. His whole mouth is lit up.
It's a good image.
It's just so... And I had seen that before, didn't realize it was from this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had seen a still of that, and I'm like, what is that from? And now I'm like, oh, it's from this movie. And it's just... It's so fucking cool.
Right.
Because you're like, how can flares be dangerous? This is how.
Right. See, like that guy on Breakfast Club, you know? It was dangerous. It was dangerous that he brought a flare gun. Everybody laughed at him, but no, that flare gun could have caused some damage.
Yeah. And it's just that scene. And they don't get a close-up, but they linger on his head just long enough for you to be like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, yep, he's done now.
It's good. It's definitely a good kill. And it's also the kind of kill you wouldn't expect from this kind of movie. Because it's like, it's not really a horror movie. It's more of just like a thriller suspense kind of film.
Yeah.
And
there's horror elements, kind of but it's not full blown horror.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But like so like when that happened, because I totally forgot about that ending. And I was like, oh shit, that's right. Yeah, I definitely do like that too. It's a little different because in most movies, it would be like the guy would charge at him, or or somebody would throw a spear, or it'd be some big, like, drawn out fight or something. Nah, just a flare gun to the mouth.
Yeah. And that's what I thought. I was like, okay, he dropped the tray, so is he going to stop? He's going to stop strangling Ray. They're going to have the big fight, and then maybe she's going to grab the harpoon and, like, you know, shoot him in the head or something. Nope. It's just like, you know what? Screw this. We're not having the big knockdown drag out.
Yeah.
It's like, you're strangling my wife. Here's a flare. It's like, oh, shit. Okay.
It's like Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. And the guy's like, you know, waving his knives at him and is expecting a showdown. And Indiana Jones is like, I ain't got time for this. And he just shoots him.
Yep.
I love
Same energy. Same energy. Like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I love that after this, his body's just thrown overboard. And you just see him floating in the ocean.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, fitting.
Where it needs to be. It's like, it probably didn't take long. Probably didn't take long for something to come up and eat it either. So.
But man, I'm just going to go ahead and say my opinion. I absolutely love this movie.
Oh, yeah. It's a damn good movie.
I need to own a physical copy of this, so I have it in my collection. This is one I want to revisit like multiple times. Not watch so much that I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But like, you know, maybe once a year go back to it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely got rewatchability, and yeah, it's the perfect suspense thriller in my opinion. It's very perfect the way that it works out. It does everything. Mm-hmm. You know, it's got the mystery, it's got the suspense, it's got the tension, it's got the oh fuck moments. Like it's a fun one. And yeah, it's not one you go back and rewatch. Like, you know, like for instance, like I've watched Dr. Giggles probably 5 times this year. Okay. I'm gonna watch it again before too long because we're talking about it on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. That's fine. I can watch that movie like 10 more times. You know, I don't care. Oh, yeah. But that's because it's a little, you know, it's more of a fun watch.
Yeah.
As this one's a little bit of an emotional roller coaster in a lot of ways. There's a lot of triggering moments, as the kids say.
Yeah.
For a lot of stuff. And it's a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little more emotional, a little more serious. And yeah, even though I love it when movies are in only one or two different scenes, right? Or one or two different places. And this one pulls it off perfect. I mean, you know, you got three killer actors delivering so much between two different sets, right?
Yeah.
And because, you know, like we said, like everything, there's so much to it. There's trauma. There's the current trauma that goes on with it. You know, there's just all kinds of shit, man. And it's definitely, if somebody's like talking about like, man, like I need a really good, just, you know, a movie I can just chill out and watch and just getting sucked into it. I think Dead Calm's one of those.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure it is.
I only picked up my phone during the opening part, you know.
I can understand that. I can understand that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Other than that, though, like no, I was on it pretty hard. I was like, man, all right. Because like I said, I've been wanting to watch it for a while. I've been forever.
Yeah, and I have to say, I haven't seen Nicole Kidman in a lot. I think I've watched the Stepford Wives remake that she was in, which she's good in, and the others, which she's really good in. I didn't realize that as early as 1989, she was already that good.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was one of those things where, like, okay, her early work maybe is okay, and then she got better over time. It's like, no, she was already at that level.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Because Sam Neill, I haven't seen a performance from Sam Neill that I've ever been like, you're phoning it in. Same with Billy Zane.
Right.
So to me, it's like these two, and Billy Zane, I don't think had been acting that long himself. Because I want to say his first movie role was in Critters. It was either Critters or Critters 2. And it wasn't that long before this.
Really? He's in Critters?
Yeah, I'm actually going to confirm that right now. Because I have the IMDb up, so I will actually confirm that I am correct.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doubting it. I don't.
No, I know you're not.
I'm not a Critters fan, so I don't really know.
Let's see. Okay.
Oh wow, he was in Back to the Future. That was his first movie.
He was one of Critters was the next one. So yeah, I actually think Critters was filmed maybe before, but I could be mistaken. But Critters and Back to the Future were his first two films. He was one of Biff's
lackeys.
Yeah, lackeys.
Huh. You know what's funny though? The movie before was called Going Overboard before Dead Calm. That's kind of funny.
That's so funny. That is so funny.
I'm looking through all his movies, and I'm just seeing all the ones that I've seen that I like. And and there's some I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I think Dead Calm in '89, Going Overboard, which I think is an Adam Sandler movie, like a really early one for Sandler.
Is it really?
And Back to the Future Part 2. So Dead Calm, Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh wow, that was okay. Yeah, that was an Adam Sandler movie. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck Megaville is. Yeah, there's a few of these. I'm like, I don't know what those are, but yeah, he's a.
And look at this, he has done so much.
Oh yeah, huh.
It's just like, wow. Okay, yeah, this. I can't. Wow.
What's really funny though is the fact of in 2011 he was in the Scorpion King 3.
Yeah.
Is he playing the guy everybody confuses as him? Is that who he's playing in that movie?
I don't know.
Because that's really funny if that's the case.
Yeah, I've watched the first Scorpion King and I was like, okay, I don't need to see anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of how that's how I feel about it too.
Because I saw there was a 2 and then a 3. I'm like, how could they keep? And I was like, I don't even think Billy Zane will get me to watch the third one.
Yeah, there's definitely I'm looking through here, and there's definitely quite a few movies that's just like, you need a paycheck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Holy shit. Okay, so not to get off on a weird tangent here, but Scorpion King 3 has Billy Zane.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista, Ron Perlman. Mm. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
That is kind of funny.
What? Like, Ron Perlman? I'm like, must have been in between gigs or something.
Don't forget Kimbo Slice.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, wait, when did they hire him to do anything? I have no friggin' clue. Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Weird. But Billy Zane has definitely been there and done that with his resume, you know? Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not that Nicole Kidman and Sam Neill haven't done a lot, but Billy Zane is like all over. It's like, wow. You realize just how much he's done.
Yeah. Well, it's like Sam Neill when it comes down to horror. I mean, he's in, let's see, the ones that come to mind, like, you know, horror, suspense, or whatever, like Dead Calm, In the Mouth of Madness, which is one of my all-time favorites. Talking about John Carpenter earlier.
Yes. That one is fantastic.
Yeah, I love that movie. And a movie called Possession. I don't know, have you ever heard of that one?
Is it Possession?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I know of it, and I've been meaning to see it. Because I know it's like very early in his career.
Yeah, it's a really weird movie about relationships that don't work out like you want them to. And it's very crazy movie. It took me a while to finally like watch it because I was like, I don't know. And then I watched it a few months back and I was like, not too bad. But yeah, fuck, my own tangent fucked me up there. But yeah, the acting of everybody on this is just it's on point. I mean, you kind of can't go wrong, you know.
Yeah.
But all of them. I can't really think of any movies any of them have done that them personally I was like dissatisfied with, you know, because even if the movie's bad, the acting's usually, you know, with those three, it's always pretty good.
Yeah.
And then can't forget Eyes Wide Shut with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, I did see that one.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure what I actually watched.
A lot of people say that it was a lot of people say it was Stanley Kubrick exposing Hollywood secrets, and then he died like a couple of weeks after the movie was done.
Yeah,
and he was already threatened by a lot of shit. Like I think that's that's a strange one too. But again, she does good in it, and her and Tom Cruise are actually having sex in that movie. I remember that was a whole big ordeal when that movie came out.
Yeah, I remember that. And they were like, wait a minute. It's like, well, they are married, so...
Oh, there were theaters that were refusing to play it.
It's like, they didn't even really show anything more than any other sex scene in any other movie.
Yeah, no. It's the fact that when you're watching it, you know there's actual penetration going on.
Yeah.
And people are just like, ooh. But
it's like, Antichrist is far worse.
I was going to say that movie, because isn't he actually having sex in that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie, I've only watched it once. I'll never watch it again. That movie is, talk about trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie has to deal with the same shit. Yeah. And then you have the infamous blood spurting cock scene. Yeah, that movie's wild. But yeah.
Am I glad I watched it? Yes. Because I can say sure. I have. Is it one I want to revisit? Was I entertained? No. It's not Antichrist is not an entertaining movie.
No. Is it a horrible movie? No. But is it a movie you want to watch all the time? No, it's not that either.
It's a well-made, competent film. It is beautifully shot.
Yeah.
It's just the subject matter is
it's a bummer all around of a movie. Yeah. I mean, it's you've got to really honestly not have anything that's ever happened in your life that can make you triggered to watch that movie, because that movie's all over.
You need to be in a good place that day.
Yeah. And
don't ever try to do a triple bill of Requiem for a Dream, Martyrs, and Antichrist, because oh fuck.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I watched Martyrs again a few months back. I haven't seen that one in a minute. I like that one.
The last time I watched it was for an episode Leanne and I did of the podcast, and that was my third time watching it, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I think 3 times is enough.
Oh, I've got the Blu-ray of it. Have you ever seen Inside?
Yes.
Okay, so the last time that I watched both those movies was back to back.
Ooh.
I guess I just felt like fucking myself up.
Like, you know what? I need to feel awful for a bit.
Sometimes you do. I don't know. Sometimes you get in these moods where it's like, sometimes you just need something kind of extreme or something a little bit moody. You know,
yeah.
It's like the movie Bring Her Back. It's such a weird emotional roller coaster in so many different ways.
It's another one I still got to check out.
Yeah, I love it.
Based on you alone talking about it, I think.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I want to say you mentioned it last time you were on the show in January when we talked about Inferno.
Oh, probably, yeah. No, because that was definitely one that I've the last couple of years that I've praised, that and Weapons. And are you familiar with Damian McCarthy? He made Oddity, Hokum, and Caveat.
I know of Hokum. I've heard of these. I haven't seen any yet.
So I will go ahead and say right now, that guy, all 3 of his movies are masterpieces. There's really good movies and there's masterpieces, right? It's like Obsession. It's a really good fucking movie. I love that movie. People are calling it a masterpiece. It's not a masterpiece. And there's a lot of reasons why. Because I'm not going to go through all the reasons, but there's a lot of reasons why. One being the fact that it's not a completely 100% original idea,
right?
Which is fine. But you take movies like Caveat, Oddity, and Hokum. Those movies, they take the old school like ghost story trope ideas, all that or whatever, and make them into something new. I highly recommend them. Caveat, Oddity, and Hokum. Hokum's the newest, but those movies, I don't remember why I even got on that subject, but yeah, you should definitely check those out. Oh, I think I was just talking about, oh, yes, right. Yeah. Talking about movies the last few years or whatever. Yeah, that guy, his movies are fucking great. Talking about Weapons.
Yeah, I still have to see Weapons. All these movies you mentioned, I have yet to see. It's just,
yeah. Have you seen Barbarian?
I still haven't seen Barbarian.
Jesus Christ! You and a couple of my friends, I've got to get on the train. Well, so the guy that made Barbarian was the same one that made Weapons,
right? And I do know.
Yeah, and he was. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he was he was the whitest kid you know. That was where he came from.
Yeah, it was. I'm going to look it up right now because I remember that, and I was like, wait a minute.
Probably one of the funniest sketch shows.
Yeah, Zach Kreger.
Yeah. But Barbarian's awesome. I love Barbarian. Weapons is awesome. I loved it. He's got Resident Evil getting ready to come out, and I'm foaming at the mouth for it. I can't wait.
Okay, so it's him doing Resident Evil. Okay.
Yeah. And considering that, the Resident Evil films, they kind of suck. Like, they're in the category of cheesy fun films.
Yeah.
The first one is all right, whatever. Then they came out with that one a few years ago, Raccoon City or whatever it was. It was like Resident Evil, like Welcome to Raccoon City or whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't get much, like, people really didn't pay attention to it. They didn't really care. It was all right. But the way he's going about it from the trailer, the way it looks, he's going more along the lines of like Resident Evil Biohazard or something.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy because that's the Resident Evil I prefer.
Mm-hmm. See, I haven't played any of the Resident Evil games, but I do know that that first series of Resident Evil films took very little from the games.
Yeah.
It was basically like character names and the Umbrella Corporation and Nemesis, and that was about it.
Yeah, I didn't complain about that at all because Mila Jovovich is fucking hot. And I was like, I don't care. She's hot, and there's one scene in that original movie that the beginning when she's been taken or she wakes up or whatever, and she's on the slab and she's got the white sheet around her.
Yeah.
Well, she stands up at one time at a certain point, and you can see Bush.
Yeah. Yeah, she was not afraid.
But I also like the soundtrack too.
Yeah. And it was her husband making these films. So he was like, I get an excuse to watch my wife naked or in little outfit. I get to dress her up in outfits as we make these ridiculous movies.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, fine. We know what you're doing.
Or he just knew he could just get away with it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't care.
Like, whatever, those movies are entertaining, but they're not good films.
No.
Competently made. They're shot well. They're just not good. They're for entertainment purposes.
Right.
They are the definition of a popcorn movie.
They got the first one's semi-serious, and then they brought in that one guy to make to bring in the comedy relief, and I'm like, are you serious? Can't remember his fuck. Is he one of the Epps guys?
Mike Epps.
Yeah, I can't stand that guy. He knows the fuck out of me.
Because it was like next Friday it hit, and he was on this upswing. So like, let's put him in the Resident Evil movie. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No.
You don't always have to have comic relief in these things.
No, you really don't. I don't really know how you really would even think that, but whatever. But yeah, there's a whole slew of good horror movies. I know that's not exactly what we were talking about, but yeah,
we tend to go all over the place with these conversations, and know what? That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, like seriously, just to touch on that a little bit. I mean, like there's people bitch and complain about, who's going to be the next, big horror icon, blah, blah, blah. And some people are like, we don't really have anybody. We got people out there making quite a few good horror films. Like I just named a few of them. Mm-hmm. The one director that, I'm really wanting to be a fan, but he's got one more chance. And that's, Osgood Perkins. I hated Long Legs. The movie is fucking stupid.
Still have yet to see that one.
It's dumb. It's completely, people blew it up completely. Oh, I was talking about what's good and what's a masterpiece. That's how this whole fucking thing started.
Yeah, that's right.
Sinners. It's a good movie.
Oh,
it's not a masterpiece. I'm sorry. It's an all right movie.
And see, I'm going to say I will stand that I do believe it's a masterpiece, but both of us are entitled to our own opinion. I think.
True. But tell me why it's a masterpiece.
I want to say down to the way it is shot, the historical references that are brought in.
Uh-huh.
There's the music.
Right.
There's so much about it that I feel can be said that it's a masterpiece. My own opinion, based on how it's shot, the story and everything. It's not the most original story, but there is a lot of history on both sides, from telling the story of the blacks in the South and in Chicago, and then the Irish, and how they're so similar, but yet still so very different.
But then they should just made a history movie then and not a vampire film. You don't even see the vampires till later on. And I don't even understand why we need a dude to be a fucking twin. Oh, I know why. Because we're just trying to like make him the new face. So we have to make him a twin instead of actually having another actor come in and play the brother.
I think that stems from the fact that the director Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan just have a really good working relationship.
Again, there was no reason for them to be a twin. He could have been because he's a pretty boy motherfucker, and that's all it was. Like he was a pretty boy, and they're like, oh, we can really push him more by making him double. That's all that was. Now I agree with you on it when it comes down to the music aspect, the time period, the historical value of the things that were being taught. But we don't even get. I think honestly, they should have just went one way or the other. They should have been like, oh, this is a really good historical depiction of how things were. Cool. You should have just done that. Because you really didn't have it as a vampire movie. It didn't really come off as, and it was also in the way that he ends up going about the fucking gunfight at the end was cheesy as shit. People want to like, just kind of forget, like, no, I love a good killing of a Nazi. I love a good killing of a KKK fuckhead. I can't. I love it. No big problem. My issue with it is how cheesy it came off. It's like, oh, we defeated the vampires. Oh, now all of a sudden here's the KKK. I'm going to take care of them now. Nope. Sorry. That is not what a masterpiece does. What it did was just try to put whatever it could when it knew that it would like win over audiences for certain reasons. It was gonna hit right because of certain reasons. It wasn't because the movie's a masterpiece. Now, again, we all have our opinions about things too, but at the same point, it just was nothing special. Like again, they could have made it a vampire movie or a monster feature, whatever the fuck, or they could have just done a historical piece about a couple of guys who were trying to have a bar. And they have to deal with this, that, and the other. They could have just done that because you don't really get horror fans like that don't like it, like me. Like I liked it, but I didn't, find it that great. Mm-hmm. Like I've watched it 3 times, hoping that I like it better. And again, I love it. I love it for the music. I love the blues. I love it for that. I love it for the acting. A lot of the acting was really good. I don't like Michael B. Jordan. He annoys the living fuck out of me. Okay. So it didn't help that I had to see 2 of them. But like the acting upon everybody was good. I didn't care for the musical aspects of it. I don't think it was needed. Some people I've gotten in arguments with some of my best friends over that. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, but you had to have it. No, you didn't. I hate musicals. So it's already like, check mark and things where I'm like, nope. Do I think it's a bad movie? No, but I don't think it's a masterpiece. I think people, when it comes down to what a masterpiece is, people actually kind of forget like the full like idea of what makes a masterpiece. And I don't think Sinners does it. I think that they had potential, but I think that people wanted too much of one thing and ignored the other things in the movie. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the whole big gunfight of the OK Corral with the KKK at the end. That could have been done in a different way because it just came off cheesy, but nobody cared at that point. By that point of the movie, you were already won over if you already loved it. So that just, it was like, that could have been brought on a little differently instead of it being like, oh, look, you just went through all this. Now you're going to beat up the guy that took your lunch money. That's what it came off as. You know what I mean? Like that, like the ending of like that Nickelodeon episode where the bully finally gets what he deserves. Like, I don't know. It just came off kind of cheesy to me at that part.
And I didn't see it that way, but like I said, we both look at it from different perspectives.
Course. Yeah.
I saw it as a good way to wrap up what they teased in the beginning, which was this racist not really wanted to give these 2 black guys what they wanted.
I get that.
And basically said, I'm going to come back and take this from you later on if I feel like it. And, but if it didn't work for you, that's perfectly fine. No, I talked about this movie with a friend of mine, and I see this as telling the story of what was going on what was happening with the blacks in the South, the Asians in the South that had immigrated here, and the Irish immigrants who were not seen as white people.
Right.
Even in their own country, they were seen as less than.
Oh, so there's these
ones. So I want to say, the way I see it is, it's this historical thing talking about that wrapped up in a vampire movie, which I think was a way to get people to see this and be like, you're going to learn something, but you'll have fun when you do, and you're going to walk away from this with a little more knowledge about what happened. And I think it was a way to just give more of that black culture to people that maybe they're not going to see. If it's in other movies, they won't go see it because they're like, yeah, I don't really want to see a period piece. I don't really want to see a character study of these people, but enough people would want to go see a horror.
I mean, well, yeah, but I mean, of course, because I mean, horror is like all at number one these days.
Right.
Most people don't want to go see it if it isn't animated or if it's not horror. Like that's, you know what I mean?
That's true.
That's just the truth. But I honestly do believe, and like, again, I agree with you. I understand that. So of course they're going to go, oh, let's do this, but let's make this. And that's fine and dandy. But again, I think that I think they still would have had awards regardless if they would have stuck with it being a horror movie or not. They could have just as well done a historical action movie, which is what they were doing. Like, they could have just done that and left out the vampire part and still got everything across they needed to. Or they could have added more vampire to it and made it more of a horror film. Like, I don't really see it that much of as a horror film anyway. I see it as more of a, like, historical, cause it's weird. Cause like, they're not really, like, they're vampires, but they're not really vampires. Like, it's just, I don't know. But again, I definitely see where you're coming from with it. And I do agree with you on that. But I also think that, like, I don't think it won awards because it was good. And that's what I'll say on that. Like, again, I don't hate the movie. I like the movie. I love everything that the movie, goes for. I just think that I don't think the execution was as good as everybody thought it was. And I think there's much better movies that probably deserve to get that award than they did. But I'm glad that horror got an award. So I'll give it that. Yeah. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
And see, this is what people need to realize is, yes, we're supposed to be talking about Dead Calm, and we venture off. Anyone that has listened to us have any of these conversations knows we go all over the place. Yeah. But here's the beauty of this. We're having this conversation. We see a certain movie like Sinners from two different perspectives.
Right. Yeah.
Are we shitting on each other about that?
Yeah.
No. We're having a conversation. We're debating things. We see each other's side, and we're like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, we're two people who see it slightly differently, and that's fine. If more people would understand that shit.
Right.
That's why I don't talk a lot about things on the internet with anybody anymore.
It's hard to. It really is.
I basically stay off of social media for the most part unless I'm promoting the show.
I get that.
It's as if you venture into any comment threads on anything from movies to books to comics to TV shows. There are people in there who will just crap all over somebody and shit on them and hate their opinion. It's like, well, wait a minute. Why?
Right.
Well, it's like what somebody likes. If you don't like it, you don't berate them and talk down to them for liking it. You just go, hey, it's not for me, but I'm glad it found its audience.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Of course. Yeah. Now, I mean, I've had my moments, in conversations and stuff in the past, but
so have I.
Yeah. But, you get to a certain age to where you're just kind of like, like there's so many posts that I like, I'll start like typing out something and I'm like, what's it fucking matter? They don't like something or they're being dicks, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
There's times where I'll come in and say something if I really am like, hey, that's kind of shitty, but yeah, there's a whole big trend of just being shitty. Like I said earlier, people just go to movies just to bitch anymore. They don't actually go to, like, there's only a few of us, I think, that actually go to movies to actually enjoy a movie. People they look too much into movies or they don't look enough into a movie or, they just go, oh, everybody loves this movie. I need to see it so I can definitely bitch about it.
Yeah. I think there's like two ways of looking at something right now that are the most popular, which is you go into every movie with such high expectations that it will always let you down. So you have something to complain about somewhere. Yeah. And then there's just the hate watching. So then you can go online and post about how bad it is, how much you hated it, and that you had to sit through it. It's like, well, nobody forced you to do that.
Right.
And the big thing that I keep seeing, and it as a 46-year-old horror fan, and I know I've been guilty of this in the past, and I've grown and I've matured and I've realized we shouldn't do that, is the gatekeeping of horror needs to stop.
Oh, yeah.
Saying someone isn't a horror fan if they haven't seen these certain movies, no.
That's shitty.
It's like, if people only like supernatural ghost stories, they're still a horror fan.
Yeah.
That's still horror. I don't care if it's PG-13 or what. Yeah. It's still in that genre. If they like the really fucked up twisted shit, they're still horror fans.
Yeah.
It's
I hate that shit too, man. I can't stand that shit, man. It pisses me off. I totally get what we were talking about. When you see people that just, it's like, man, if somebody's like, oh, I haven't seen this movie, blah, 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 instead of being like, oh, well, you're a piece of shit because you didn't see a fucking movie. It's like, hey, here's some recommendations of some films you might like since you like this kind of movie. Like, you might dig this. Give this a try. That's what I try to do. I was guilty a while back. This has been a few years now, but I was on I remember if it was a group or whatever, but somebody had posted. No, it wasn't in a horror movie group, and somebody had posted a review, right, of a movie, and it rubbed me wrong. And I can't remember what the movie was, or whatever. And I just went on there and just fucking completely I was shitty to this dude. Like I don't know what my deal was. And I felt horrible because I ended up apologizing to him and we talked and stuff, but, he was talking about, he's like, man, he's like, I just now really kind of got into horror. Like, he's like, I'm on the spectrum. So it takes me a while to really like take in everything and all this shit. And I was like, God damn it. Mm-hmm. And, and I was like, that was when I kind of realized, maybe stop and kind of take in the situation. And cause if people actually took the moment to actually think before they typed out something or said something hurtful to somebody or whatever, take in account to what's going on in that moment. Is this going to be something that's going to like, is being a shitty asshole and a shitty person to somebody for a stupid fucking comment going to be worth like maybe possibly like, really, really hurting somebody's feelings? Like, do you feel okay knowing that you have completely ruined somebody's good moment because you wanted to be a dick?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I try to be, if I can't be positive, then I try not to comment on people's shit anymore.
Right. Same here. And I've done that in the past. We've all done things that we're
all
like,
guilty.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, there's this thing now where they're, okay. Am I the biggest fan of remakes? Not necessarily. When I was younger, I'd be like, they don't need to remake it. It's stupid, blah, blah, blah. Mm. I kind of have the same sentiment now, but I'm like, you know what? There's a reason they're doing it. It's not for me.
Right.
So maybe that group of teenagers or whoever goes and sees the remake of whatever horror movie.
Right.
Goes, hey, maybe we should check out the original and see what that has. There are things that's going to happen if you just let people watch the horror they're going to watch. Yeah. They'll probably go back through the back catalog.
Exactly. I mean, that's how I always was.
If they become a horror fan, they're going to want more. And maybe they won't. Maybe they're a different type of horror fan, which is still fine. But what I've seen is the majority of us get exposed to it at a certain time, and then we start going backwards, but keeping up with some of the more recent stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then we all have our lanes that we stick in. Like, some people really like the supernatural aspect. Some people really go slasher. Some like the extreme.
Yeah. That's what gets us to know what we want.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we all have something in common, and that's that we like this genre.
Exactly.
Yeah, we went from talking about Deadcom to being real serious.
I know, right? It happens. It's okay, though.
It's just one of those things, like, I'm just tired of people shitting on everybody else on the internet. Like, somebody goes, I really like the 1990 Night of the Living Dead better than the original. And then somebody's like, you're fucking stupid. It's like, well, no.
I've gotten that, because I do. Yeah, I'll say it. I'd much rather watch the remake of Dawn of the Dead. What did you say? Did you say Dawn of the Dead?
Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, no. Yeah. I love the original, but I do love the remake. But I get shit all the time from people. Me and old Ron Pertee, when he brings up Dawn of the Dead, because he gets a hard on over that movie, which I like the original too. But yeah, the anything remake that has to do with the Dead movies will usually get some kind of like weird reaction. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. But I do love the remake of Night of the Living Dead too, though.
I enjoy the Dawn of the Dead remake. It's just dumb fun. It has nothing to do with the original other than people in a mall avoiding zombies.
Yeah,
which is fine. It's for a certain audience. I still really love the original Dawn of the Dead. Doesn't mean I can't like the new one. The only ones that I'll say do not need to exist are any of the times they have tried to remake or make sequels to Day of the Dead.
Oh no, I 100% agree with you on that.
They did a full-on remake that was ridiculous. They did another one which was like Day of the Dead Contagium.
Yeah,
which was like way back, like World War I or something. It was. I saw it and I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. And then Bloodlines.
Yeah.
You have a zombie who's following his ex across. Like, no.
Right.
Like, I get Bub was a thing, but it doesn't work that way. You can't just go, oh, well, yeah, Bub would have done that. No.
Right.
Land of the Dead picked up from what Bub was and did it better. And I know people don't really care for Land of the Dead, but I'm like,
I like it.
That makes more sense when you see Bub from Day of the Dead and then you see like Big Daddy and all these other ones who are like, well, wait a minute.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They realize you're like, yeah, because it was dropped in Day of the Dead. Bloodlines takes it and goes, well, yeah, wouldn't he get in a car and follow her across the country? Like, no.
They're
just recognizing things.
Right.
Like Bub saluting, he recognized a military uniform. And he didn't try to speak either, really.
Right.
But, yeah, Bloodlines is a terrible movie. Nobody should watch it.
No, it's horrible. I
watched it because I was like, I need to see what the hell this is.
Oh,
and I was mad. It's like, I wasted my time.
Right, yeah. No, that's not a good one. Cameron Romero was the one that told me that I shouldn't watch that one. Because he was curious. He was curious of what they had done.
Nothing good.
Yeah. He's like, it's horrible. And I was like, what the fuck? And he told me what it was about. And I was like, that's bad. And I tried to watch it years later. And I was like, yeah, you weren't kidding. I couldn't even finish it. I was like, this is just horrible. It's so fucking shitty. Like, remakes, man, we could probably do a whole fucking episode on remakes, on the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know?
Yeah.
we always want our originals. And sometimes it's hard to, it's like Metallica and Jason Newsted. You know, when Cliff Burton died, they gave Jason Newsted shit for no fucking reason because they wanted Cliff back and they couldn't get him. Right. Yeah. Sometimes we watch these movies and we go, we want we want the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But then you watch the remake and you go, you know what? It's actually pretty fucking good too.
Yeah. I know some people don't. I had fun watching Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Oh, me too. It doesn't make a lick of sense, but I like that movie a lot. Yeah.
All over the place, but you know what? They didn't try to take themselves too seriously.
No.
Like that Netflix version.
See,
I don't know what that was.
I like the Netflix version.
See, I watched it and I'm like, you know what? It's just not for me.
If they just would have taken out the whole, like, they tried to bring back Sally as like Jamie Lee Curtis or some shit, and that was just pointless. They should have taken that out.
That was the most shoehorned in aspect of that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't have. They should have done that.
You know why it works with Halloween? Because she's already been established in a couple of the movies.
Right.
It doesn't work here because Sally was driven to the point of insanity at the end of that first movie. She would not have been like, I'm going to become a law woman and I'm going to take out my vengeance. I'm like, no, she would have been locked up or like, been like, you know what? I'm living on the other side of the fucking country from this place.
She makes an appearance in part 4 and she's in a gurney and she's being wheeled across, the hallway or whatever, which I think Gunnar Hansen's the one that's actually wheeling her across the hallway. But like,
I believe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 4 was next gen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's batshit insane, but you know what?
I like that one too.
I have fun with it.
No, yeah. You know?
Like at a certain point, you just have to go, you know what? Whatever. I mean, the first time I saw it, it was the first full Texas Chainsaw movie I'd seen. I saw that before the original because it was on like HBO or something. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a watch. And at the end, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I just watched.
Right. Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, now I get it. The timeline for TCM makes as much sense as the timeline for Halloween, which is not a fucking lick.
No.
They go all over the place. So, you know.
Yeah, just have fun with them for the most part. Like, you know, it's like we desire so much these days as horror fans. You know, we kick and scream for this, that, and the other. And anytime we actually get what we want, it's not good enough. And
that's
the
problem. Kills me every time. It kills me every time.
That they're, you know, we're, like I said, horror's at an all-time high. And people were like, "Oh, we need some horror directors to come along," and it's like, well, we've got them. Just you need to pay attention.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, it's that. It's stop trying to give weird labels to horror.
Yeah,
like the whole elevated horror thing. I'm like, at the end of the day, horror is horror. I don't care what other label you slap on it.
Yeah, I agree.
They're like, oh, well, these horror movies make you think. I'm like, the majority of horror movies make you think. The majority of horror movies have a message to them.
Yeah.
There are outliers that don't, that are just, hey, this is just a wild ride. Like,
right.
Do I think there's social commentary in Terrifier 2 and 3? No. That's going into the extreme part that is just a wild fucking ride. It's like, look, this is a roller coaster. Get ready for it.
Right,
You know, there are other movies that will have the commentary, but they're still in horror. Horror will always have something to say. It's just not going to be in every horror film.
Yeah. Not every horror film has to have an agenda behind it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It's a very wide spectrum of what horror is. And
it truly is. It truly is.
People need to do what, well, this is the best advice I can give, and I will use, Richard Pryor. He had some great advice. I'm going to use this now. He said something along the lines of, people just need to, sit down, have a Coke and shut the fuck up, or have a smile, a smile and a Coke. I fucked that all up, but you know, have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up.
Yep.
And I highly advise most people out there to do that. Yeah. Slow your roll, know your role, fuck off.
Yeah. And there's probably somebody listening to this that's going to be pissed off at both of us about things. They're probably going to be like, Dead Calm is the worst fucking movie ever made. Well, okay, that's your opinion. Don't agree with it.
That's okay. Anybody that's listening to this that actually has an opinion, just know that I absolutely love Jason Goes to Hell. Now squirm on that one.
See, I do too, man. It's
good. You know what? See, you're a smart man. See,
yeah.
Only smart people like it. So I look at it.
Look, it's one of those that I think you grow to appreciate the more you watch it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's doing something different. And people like to just shit all over. They didn't know what they were doing. And what's with this thing and this and that? I'm like, it's just doing something different. If you don't like it, that's fine. But enough of us do. And it's a lot of fun and we enjoy it.
It's like, do you like the Friday the 13th movies? Yeah. Cool. Do you like the Evil Dead movies? Yeah. Cool. Then what's your fucking problem?
This is what happens when you take a little bit from both and mix them together.
Yeah, and there's a documentary. I haven't watched it yet, but there's a documentary about the making of Jason Goes to Hell.
Yes, I need to get my hands on it.
Yeah, I want to see it. The director, I watched an interview with him, and he explains Jason Goes to Hell and he makes it make sense, like a lot. And that's a movie that I need to go on. I need to do a podcast or something just about that movie. Telling you.
You know what? I was toying with the idea of covering the entire Friday the 13th series. A little behind the scenes here. If you guys are still listening, I appreciate you still listening.
Right.
I was toying with the idea of going through it. I'm like, everybody has done that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking of maybe just picking out certain films. So, yeah, if you want to talk Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, yeah, dude. Sign me up.
Figure it out because I have a lot to say about that movie.
Oh, yeah, man.
And
I'm down.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
I just still find it funny that the director will every once in a while just go, hey, Jason's a deadite, deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually one of the more explanations that makes sense, because he's not really a zombie.
It makes
Sorry,
right.
I don't think he's really a zombie.
Well,
is he zombified to a point? Technically, physically, yeah, but he doesn't act like a zombie.
Right. No, the director of Part 6 even says he's not a zombie.
Yeah.
but he actually
Part 6, he's basically Frankenstein's monster resurrected by lightning. I mean, come on.
Oh, that's exactly. I mean, because I went to Jason Lives camp and the director was there and he showed us all kinds of shit. And that's exactly where he got that idea from. Frankenstein.
Yeah. I mean, Tom McLaughlin just basically wore his universal monster love on his sleeve for that movie. I mean, there's the references to Karloff and all that stuff throughout there. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's one of my favorites to go back to.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to the Dead-Eyed Jason thing just real quick though, it was like, yeah, it's the only thing that makes the most sense about all the movies, like how he died and he's still alive. How he's seen all this shit, all that. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. People are like, oh, I don't want that. Of course you don't. Why would you? It makes too much sense. But whatever. Anyway, if I'm not careful, this will be that episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on that. Because like I said, I haven't talked about it on the show, and it's one I've been, like I said, covering the entire series. I think we did it on Tales. So,
right.
Or maybe it was done. I don't even remember. I know we did Texas Chainsaw. I don't remember if we did Friday the 13th. There's been so many things. But everybody has covered every movie to death, but everybody usually barely talks about certain ones, which is Part 5 and Jason Goes to Hell.
Right.
And
I love both of them. I love both of them.
Maybe they deserve a little more.
They do.
You know?
They deserve a little more love. And then
again, Part 5 and Jason Goes to Hell get treated like Halloween 3.
Yeah.
It's something different, and they wanted something different, and then when they got something, they didn't want it.
Exactly.
Fickle fans.
Nobody's satisfied.
Yeah. Anyway, man, I have had a blast talking about this. We talked about Deadcom. We've talked about anything else we fucking wanted to.
Hell yeah. As God intended.
Which is how this goes, and I absolutely love it because it is just, like I always say, it is a natural conversation between two friends.
Oh yeah, man.
And I really appreciate you carving out the time to be able to do this because I know you got a lot going on. And you know what? You do have stuff going on. So go ahead and plug everything you got going on, man.
Let's see here. Well, go with the podcast first. Video Store Clerks podcast on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. I don't think we put it anywhere else. And then you got my books. You can get them over on Amazon on physical copies, or you can go over on Godless to get the digital copies. Godless is digital only. They're great over there. They help out indie authors. They'll put out a 300-page book, or they'll put out a 20-page story. And they're great over there. So if you need some Chuck Nasty, go over there. I have my own section over there on Godless. If you don't go over there. If you do, then please go over to Amazon and please buy my product. My most recent book that came out was A Flesh and Metal, which is a co-written book that I co-wrote with Robert Essig. And it's sci-fi 80s to the bone. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Highly recommended for anybody that's into the 80s atmosphere with weird creatures and mechanics and things like that. And then 24 Hours of Violence, which is the last solo thing that I put out. It's a short little novella about a guy who just really gets fed up with his in-laws. And then coming up, I've got a couple of things. Finishing up a book with author R.J. Powell. I'm waiting on her last part to get back to me, and then we'll be able to finish that. It's a book called Guns and Gasoline. It's an extreme noir kind of book. I also got a book. You were talking about the blues. I like the blues. We do a lot of blues. I do that too well. But no, you were talking about the blues earlier and stuff. And I got a book going to come out with my buddy Chris Payton called Heads Roll. And it's the story. It takes place in the 60s, has to do with the dirty blues and decapitated heads. We're in the process of doing the last proofread and all that. And we just got to go get it formatted and it'll be out, hopefully within the next couple of months. And then I've been working on a novel that I've restarted like 5 times, called Wretched Pricks. And I'm also working on a collection of brand new stories called Thrown into Filth. And, yeah. And then also, Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat. We've actually, a couple weekends ago, I went over to Josh's and recorded vocals for all but one song, off our new EP. It might be the last release from us. But,
wow.
Yeah. It's been kind of a thing. We recorded the music to this album, a year or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there were some issues, and we just now got around to getting the last bit of things kind of taken care of. Like I said, he needs to record vocals. I need to record vocals on one song, and then we'll have it out. But it's, if it ends up being the last thing we put out, it's a damn good way to go out. It's every song's killer and to the point, heavy, and crunchy and loud and abrasive. So
nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So that's yeah. And if you want to listen to more Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, our last album, Decay of Man, is on Bandcamp, YouTube, Spotify. So yeah, there you go.
Very cool, man. I will put links to all that stuff in the show notes for anyone that wants to go check that out. Make sure you support them. And if it is the last Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, don't cry over it being the end. Go back and listen to the genesis of it all. Go through their catalog. Check it all out.
It's funny because our first release was called Genesis.
Damn. All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm so happy for you with everything you're doing with the writing and everything. It's really awesome to see what you're doing.
I appreciate it, man.
And
I really do.
It seems like it's really found its audience. You're really getting to work with other authors, which sounds really awesome.
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you. I'm really proud of you for doing this, man. It's awesome because not everybody does something like this that sticks with it.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah.
I appreciate that.
I'm very happy for you, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, well, anybody that's a creative knows that it's not easy sometimes, and it grates your nerves, and you get depressed and you get down or whatever. And I kind of hit a bump a few months back. But, I got a fire lit up my ass a couple months ago, and, making the right changes in my life, and also doing more promotions when it comes to the book stuff, and just, trying to live my best life. And, so I appreciate you and your kind words, cause it's a dream come true, man. It really is. And I just got to keep pushing at it. I'm not the biggest name, but that's what I'm pushing at, is to eventually be. Yeah.
Not everybody gets to live their dreams. So the fact that you are is just awesome. And yeah, everything I said from the heart, I mean it 100%.
I know that, man. I appreciate you for it.
And
hell yeah.
All of you listening need to really go check out his writing, music. Check out Video Store Clerks. It's a great podcast. It's a lot of fun.
We'll have
especially
you on
when a lot of the guys show up dressed as characters from the movie.
Yes, it does happen.
And I'll be honest, I haven't been able to tune in as much as I would want because there's been a lot of stuff. And for those of you listening, listen to the end of the show. I'll address a lot of everything else as to why we were on hiatus and that. But anytime I have tuned in to watch, it has been a blast. And the time I was on was fun. And I look forward to coming on again. I'm glad that you guys would even have me back.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, we were actually just talking about the other night. We gotta figure out, because I sent you a thing to what movies we're talking about. So if any of those fit your fancy, let me know.
For sure. I was like, Dr. Giggles, really?
I mean, dude,
I already have something set up to record that night. So,
okay.
Yeah, I was like, unfortunately, I won't be able to make that one, but I am going to let you know. I'm going to look at that list again and see what else is there and let you know. That way.
Sounds good, man.
Come hang out for a bit.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
And I still need to get all of you guys on here for something.
Yeah.
If it works out.
The crossover.
Yeah.
Hey, we can figure something out. Even if it can't be all the guys, it can be me and at least a couple of us.
Yeah. Whoever can make it, I'm more than happy to have them on.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure.
Because I know sometimes it's hard logistically to get everybody on at once, and things come up. Everybody's got lives outside of all this shit we do, you know?
Well, yeah, of course.
So, you know,
hectic.
I'm trying to be understanding, as flexible as possible.
All right, man, you kind of have to be. Because, I mean, these days, everything's kind of chaotic.
Very true. Very true. Well, again, man, I want to thank you for this conversation. As always, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
And
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. Jason Goes to Hell. And you'll be back in January for sure. I just have to figure out what we're doing as far as Giallo.
Hell yeah. I can't wait. I look forward to it every year.
Awesome. Thanks again, dude. It's been a blast.
Man. Oh, yeah.
All right. So I want to thank Chuck once again for coming on the show, and before January, as we discussed. It was great having him, great sitting down talking Deadcom with him, and I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. It does tend to kind of go off the rails sometimes, but I feel like we kept this one a little more guided than usual. But make sure you go check out Chuck's author page on Amazon. Also go to Godless. There will be links in the description for that stuff, as well as for his band, Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat. I will have all that down there, so make sure you check out those links. Support his band, support his author work. You know, independent writer, so, you know, help him out if you can. Buy a couple of his books if you're so inclined. And as far as Skewered Universe, you know where you can find us: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music. Pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts, we are there. You can also head over to YouTube, check out the official Skewered Universe Podcast channel, where we have episodes and some shorts up. You can check all that out. Head over to skeweredhead.com. You can find our blog, links to all of our social media. You can email the show through there if you feel so inclined. And there's info about us over there. It's just a cool little site we put up. Also available on Podbean. Let me throw that out there so you can head over to Podbean and see our page over there. Or use the Podbean app if you feel like it. And yeah, I also do Tales from the Podcast, which is every other Saturday. And currently, we are getting ready to head into the final revival season of Are You Afraid of the Dark? But before that, we're going to be recording an episode where we talk about Undertone, giving ourselves kind of a break. So make sure you check that out. That is coming up on Saturday, the 29th, I believe is what it is. So yeah, keep your eyes open for that. And I said in this episode I was going to mention why we've been on hiatus for a bit. I'm pretty sure I did anyway. If not, I'll just address it now. I did a few shows with some friends of mine, but as you know, we had a 16-year-old Staffordshire Terrier that we had for 16 years, her entire life. We adopted her as a puppy, and over the last few months, we've noticed her health starting to decline. She's staring off into the distance more. You know, she's having trouble getting outside on her own to go potty. Not that she was having trouble walking, but every once in a while would lose her balance. She was having some kidney issues. We tried to do some kidney treatments earlier in the year, which helped, but then she got tired of her kidney food, and with everything that was mounting up, we made the decision that it would be best, while she still has the majority of her faculties about her, to send her off across the Rainbow Bridge. So just a few weeks ago, as the time I'm sitting down to record this outro, we had a veterinarian come out from a service and do everything there, and we said goodbye. So that has been a big reason why production slowed down for Skewered Universe. We were basically 24/7 caretakers for our dog, and it was immensely stressful on my aunt and I. It was also stressful on Bella, so we did what was best for her, and now without that hanging over us, we can kind of get back to a sense of normality. But don't get me wrong, we miss her every day. It is tough losing a loved one, especially one that you cared for from the time that she was a pup up until 16 years old, and she lived well past the life expectancy, because I think Staffordshire's only lived to about 10, maybe 12 years, so she got a good extra 4 years in. So yeah, that's where we stand. I wanted to address that. The other thing is Leanne being autistic, ADHD diagnosed. She's kind of on a journey of self-discovery at this point. She's realizing a lot of things about herself and kind of taking some time to just figure all that out, kind of find herself and get to know herself more and, figure out everything. It's not a negative thing. It is a very positive thing. There's no negative connotation when it comes to autistic or ADHD. It's just someone's brain being wired different. And now that she has answers, she can sort of put together puzzle pieces from her past and kind of see patterns and stuff. So she's working on that. She will be back at some point. It's going to be completely up to her when she comes back, but she has not left the show. She is just doing her thing to, further understand her ADHD and learn more about herself, as I said. And that's it. So I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the support. Oh, speaking of support, if you want to support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/Skewered Universe Podcast if you feel so inclined. We have some stuff over there that you can get. Audio commentaries will be coming soon. We're going to work that out. I know I keep saying it, but there was a lot going on, so we're going to focus on that. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys are having a good one. I hope you're staying as cool as possible because the world is burning. And until next time, keep enjoying that universe that's just a bit skewered.